And he said, yeah. Generations after generations keep praising you, yet no word sums you up. Then I asked the Lord, what name fits you? And he said, yeah. You're the hallowed one. Yeah, the holy one. Yahweh, the King of Zion. Yeah, the hallowed one. Yeah, the holy one.
The Citi Breakfast Show. Rise above the noise.
Somebody lift your hands and chant the name, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
City 97.3.
Say generation.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show. The city's biggest conversation.
Yah the hallowed one, Yah the holy one. Dunsin Oyekan, 624 97.3 Citi FM. Welcoming you to a brand new month. It's the month of July. He says, I asked the Lord what name fits you, and he says, Yah. Extol him who rides upon the clouds by his name Yah. It's a sacred name. It's a powerful name. It's also a secret name. It's a name that is revealed to the one who inquired. So what is the name of God? What name has he revealed to you? His name is not just what he responds to. His name is his record. His name is his accomplishment. His name is what he's accomplished in the realm of men. So some says Yahweh, some call him El Shaddai, some call him Jehovah. In this particular one, it says his name is Yah. Oh yes. Allow the Lord to have a record in your life. His accomplishments from January to June comprise his name among the nations. What is his name? A beautiful way to start not just the month, but also the second half of the year. now till end of December. Allow the Lord to use you to create a testimony for himself. Make yourself a great name with me. Use me to do wonderful things. I am ready to be a vessel of change. Says you will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you because he trusts in you. Trust in the Lord forever, for in Yah the Lord is everlasting strength. Oh my goodness. He's the source of all strength. He's the source of all power. In Yah the Lord is everlasting strength. That's what we need for the second half of the year. So welcome aboard to the Power of Radio to make a difference, to create a change, a positive one, of course. Thank you so much for joining us. Business Sense brought to you by ADB. If you need a personal loan to resolve your financial difficulties, we're offering you a wide variety of loans, including top-ups at highly reduced interest rates to keep you within the range. A longer tenor, a better rate. Call 0302-210-210. ADB, the People's Bank. ADB, truly agric and more.
We understand the excitement and preparations that comes when your child gains admission into senior high school. But we at the Agricultural Development Bank, ADB PLC, also understand the financial burden this comes with. The chop box, trunk, school mattress, you name it. That's why we have partnered with Prospectus Ghana Limited to offer financial support for parents by introducing the ADB Quick Purchase. With a smart loan of up to 20,000 Ghana cedis, you can pick up all the items on your child's prospectus for school. ADB PLC offers you a repayment plan of 12 months to relieve you of all that heavy financial burden. Every ADB customer who receives their salaries through the bank, military and police personnel, and all other workers on the Controller and Accountant General's payroll qualify for this facility. Walk into any ADB branch nationwide or any Prospectus Ghana Limited office near you to apply for the ADB Quick Purchase. Terms and conditions apply. ADB, the People's Bank. ADB, truly agric and more.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
It's a fantastic platform for change, for excellent conversation. Brought to you by the Total Experience. Total Energies has amazing news for you.
Making wrong decisions, only visions
The incredible benefits of Excellium. It's a 3-in-1 power fuel. This formula is enriched with additives with 8 powerful 3-in-1 action. Cleans your engine, extends its life, and lowers your fuel consumption. Thanks to the cumulative effects of our anti-corrosion, anti-wear, and detergent additives, the Excellium new formula also lowers your vehicle's fuel consumption while reducing CO2 emissions. Good drive, sir. Also, segment sponsored by Fidelity Bank. Visit any of our branches and start sending money across the continent securely and affordably to all these places: Nigeria, Gambia, Liberia, Guinea, Sierra Leone. It's called the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System from Fidelity.
As I'm getting older, your people get colder.
So 6:32, bright and early, 1st July, starting off with the newspaper review with the returning Caleb Kuda.
Good morning, Bernard.
Back from Rwanda.
Yes, sir.
Rwanda.
Yes, sir.
They call it Gwanda.
Yeah, man.
Welcome back.
Thank you so much, Bernard.
And Nathan is also here. Welcome again.
Hello.
Nathan. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hope you had a great weekend.
It was
you know what's funny? Yesterday I was about to send you a text message in the 94th minute of the game between England and Slovakia. That what do you have to say to the England coach? Only for Jude Bellingham to shame me. So as he scored the goal, my WhatsApp message got stuck on my phone, so I had to change the message to a different one. You will not know. I was going to.
Strangely enough,
yes.
I could.
You couldn't watch the match?
No, I was watching the game.
Yes.
But I couldn't celebrate because just when Bellingham scored, disaster struck my phone.
Oh, your phone disappeared.
I'll tell you, something happened.
The phone just looked.
Sorry.
You didn't like the goal. Anyway, so we'll go into the headlines this morning.
Yes, let's start off with the new finder. The new finder has the Bank of Ghana here, and it says Bank of Ghana to receive $360 million today to bring total IMF disbursement to $1.56 billion. Police service refutes claims of IGP's removal. Minister outlines key challenges facing RTI implementation, and Council of State condoles with family of late La Bianca CEO.
Bernard, Daily Graphic this morning. National airline plan hits snag. It comes with a photograph of Kweku Ofori-Esiama, Minister of Transport, operationalize Ashanti Regional Hospital. This is Asante Hine speaking. Development impossible without moral values. Apostle Nyameche of the Church of Pentecost speaking there. Now, Daily Guide, the newspaper this morning, NPP MPs embrace Napo as running mate. IGP leak tape. COP Mensa, 2 others cited for misconduct. Blaze sues Ablakwa for 20 million Ghana cedis. Dampare still in office, police service says.
Okay. All right, the Chronicle says back to sender. This is in relation to the IGP leak tape report. Says back to sender. Parliament says Superintendent Asari and JB lied under oath, and they have been referred to the Privileges Committee. GCB Bank lays foundation for a sustainable future with remarkable 2023 performance, and Kwame Blesu's Okuja too for 20 million cedis.
Republic Press leads with IGP's faith sparks debate as police refutes dismissal rumors. Blaze fight Ablakwa in court. GBA calls for end to politicization of judiciary. Dr. Baumia urges religious harmony and kindness as he commissions mosque, and thousands join Sharaf Mohammed's health screening and walk in Tamale, and Alan Tremating pledges to reform cocoa industry.
The new publisher says majority backs Napo at meeting with Baumia. SNIT not collapsing. Contributions, pensions safe. Ghana Gaming and Lottery Awards takes off, and Ghana fuels digital growth through data strategy. And there's a question here. NPP giant billboards all over again. That's on page 4 of the new publisher.
The Herald newspaper, Finance Minister and GRA boss snub Akufo-Addo's directives on SML as they resume operations despite presidential directive. MP's media academia silenced with cash, the Herald says. Now, Peter Amewu running away from Chachu Chikate's grills. Bevlo Latte questions disclosure of Jakpe's confidential military report. NPRA suspension of SNIT Hotel sale, initial victory, Ablakwa says, and Mawena Ajo Dumo late to rest.
The Ghanaian publisher ADBMD Lord's government's financial inclusion agenda. Complete stalled hospital projects. Otumfuo charges minister. And MPs ratify Ghana bauxite deal. Plus AG tenders Jakpe's dismissal letter in evidence.
On SNIT sales, the Ghanaian publisher reports that we will continue to engage DG. This is Mr. Kofi Osafo Mafo speaking. And IGP not removed, police service rebuffs. Plots to attack Ochiman Environmental Brigade uncovered. MPs applaud Information Minister over presentation of RTI report. And LEAP beneficiaries to share 103 million Ghana cedis.
The Daily Searchlight says control pricing cement bill meets stiff opposition. Schooling under trees, Banda Sanwa DA JHS cries for decent classroom block, and SHS subjects to be reduced from 63 to 37. That's coming from the NACA boss.
So the Daily Graphic paper, the edition for today, free SHS bill goes to cabinet, seeks cancellation of BEC for SHS admissions. SHS to be 6 years, comes with a photograph of Dr. Yao Osei Educhum, and SNIT Rock City negotiations stall, Director General says, and then be courageous, firm in face of challenges. Ochihene to journalists.
The Today newspaper says story on point as NPRA suspends sale of SNIT hotels. They say it's on page 3. Group Indum president rallies support for promotion of made in Ghana goods, and cuts international to parliament, reject cement bill.
The Inquisitor newspaper has a worrying one. Wee Toffee becoming popular among SHS students in Upper East region. Ugly, reckless and shameless. Ghana has no say at the Regional Maritime University. Inquisitor has more on that. Majority Caucus backs NAPO as DMB's partner. Remarkable 2023 performance. GCB Bank lays foundation for sustainable future. And Opom Fusu charges youth to lead Ghana's rescue mission.
The Informer newspaper says Baumia Napo ticket savvy. That's according to the CDD. Talking about the Napo, he's wooing energy experts, urges them to invest in Ghana. That's also on the front page of the Informer. Plot to remove IGP, sanction 3 cops, committee tells president, and cement manufacturers defy minister. Increase price by 12 cedis.
Not easy.
The Anchor newspaper this morning, NDC suspends parliamentary candidate for impregnating secretary's wife. National Executive Sermon Crunch meeting tomorrow. Dan Botre resigns from Baumia's campaign, comes with a big question mark. And Hajia for real, jailed 1 year in US, agrees to refund $2.1 million fraud cash.
Right, let's do some economics papers now.
Yes, finally from me, the Economy Times. Some commercial banks are raising their forex accounts charges, but others retain the old charges demanded from their forex account holders. Still on cement price regulation, Trade Ministry and manufacturers standoff deepens, and petroleum hub development in limbo as host community makes demands before project starts.
BNFT this morning, third IMF tranche of $360 million expected today. Premix fuel diversion stokes supply deficit. Suspend sale of hotels. NPRA to SNIT. Trade Minister urges MSMEs to drive sustainable economic growth as GEA launches new classification regulations. And Obasanjo endorses Cultural Oneness Festival. And lead in climate solutions and inclusive insurance. President tells Enterprise Insurance as they celebrate 100 years with a grand ball.
I'll take you online. Citi Newsroom has a number of quite interesting stories. UGMC successfully completes first set of 6 kidney transplant surgeries.
Wonderful.
That's a great one. Now, there's a big question here. Why does everybody want to be an MP? Asantini is asking Bagby. He wants to know what is there. Now, over 500,000 CDs released to health facilities for free dialysis sessions. This is NHI. Now, FDA cautions public against patronizing adulterated foods. Right, and then disregard fake reports on IGP's removal, according to the police.
Okay.
Now I'll give you two more. Nigeria's naira rated worst performing currency globally for the first half of 2024. So January to June, the naira was the worst. Now, two stories on roads. Atimpoko Asikuma Road opens to traffic after severe floods blocked it. Now this is Citi News reporting today. Also, trailer accident causes gridlock at Asuna near Nkoko. So yes, this weekend there were two major road blocks. One to Kumasi, one to Ho. Both of them have been opened now. All those stories on citinewsroom.com. My John Online is leading with Asantini's question. Why is everybody scrambling to be an MP? Asantini wants to know. Maybe you have the answer. Sky will give us the answer today. In other stories, SNIT pledges further engagement on the hotel sale after NPRA directive. We've read that already. And then GBA president calls for enhanced security and safety of judges. And then petrol prices to go up by 2%, LPG by 5% from July 1, according to the IES. So a little increase in fuel prices. Meanwhile, Grader endorses Katie Hammond's ally on cement pricing. This is class leading with that story. IGP Silla Post, Ghana Police Service denies reports of Dan Paris leave. And of course, if you go to Star FM as well, the big story, UGMC successfully performed 6 kidney transplants. That story is everywhere on the news portals. All right, I think you should start with how much money is coming in.
Yes,
and what they are going to do with the money when we are getting our share. Before we go into other issues.
Yes, BOG is receiving some money today. The story is written by Elvis Dakum and it's on page 2 of the New Finder. And it says the International Monetary Fund is set to transfer $300 million to the Bank of Ghana today, bringing the total disbursements and Ghana's post-COVID program for economic growth to $1.56 billion. This follows the IMF Executive Board's approval on Friday for the continuation of the country's economic recovery program. The approval marks the completion of Ghana's second review under the Extended Credit Facility Program. Finance Minister Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam hailed the development as a significant step towards achieving macroeconomic stability. The IMF emphasized the importance of maintaining macroeconomic policy adjustments and reforms, particularly during the upcoming electoral period, to ensure long-term economic stability and debt sustainability.
Now, the Trade Minister is urging MSMEs to drive sustainable economic growth. Minister of Trade and Industry Katie Hammond has called on micro, small and medium enterprises, MSMEs, to intensify their efforts in driving sustainable economic growth and job creation. He was speaking at the launch of the new Ghana Enterprise Agency classification of MSMEs Regulation 2023, where he said the sector is a critical component of the country's strategic blueprint for diversifying its non-oil economy. But
stay with the Trade Minister. There's a cement story that's been making the rounds.
Yes, it's on it's in some papers, Daily Searchlight and the Economic Times. So the Daily Searchlight says the decision by the NPP government to introduce control pricing in the area of cement prices is meeting very stiff opposition. The government of Ghana currently does not manufacture even a bag of cement, but is seeking to pass a law that allows it to set the price of the product. In the meantime, it is raking in all the taxes on imports that go into the manufacturing of the product. Now, the story goes on to say two groups very interested in the issue, the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana and the Chamber of Cement Manufacturers, have kicked against the proposed bill to regulate cement prices, and they have called on Parliament to scrap the bill. In a statement, the Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana called on Parliament to reject a proposed bill from the Minister of Trade to be clothed with power to regulate the prices of cement on the Ghanaian market. They said the LI was to ensure uniformity and stability, or the minister said the LI was to ensure uniformity and stability in terms of cement prices, but the executive secretary of the IEAG, Samson Asaki Awingobit, indicated that the association was advocating for a holistic trading environment both in the import and export sector, and defined the LI to be worrying and they find it to be threatening to the survival of cement.
Meanwhile, if you go to the Informer, they say cement manufacturers defy minister, increase price by 12 cedis. Cement manufacturers have defied Katie Hammond's orders and have rather increased the price of the product by 12 cedis. According to the vice chair of the grader, Dr. Sivin Deborah Abometi, the manufacturers indicated through a text message that they had increased the price of the product effective today, July 1st, 2024. So as of this morning, we got text messages from the cement manufacturers that effective 1st July, that's today, we are increasing price by 12 cedis. The truth of the matter is that if you are on a project and it takes you 24 months to develop, given the fact that cement contributes to about 70% of the building components, once the price of cement is increased, the price of block is increased, price of concrete goes up, price of plastering materials all increase because the same ingredient affects the components. He further added that prices of iron rods and other building materials had also been increased by 28%. Now, you give the background already. The only group that seems to support the trade minister here is the GRADA. The Ghana Real Estate Development Association has expressed strong support for Minister K.T. Hamon's decision to introduce a legislative instrument to regulate cement pricing in the country. So we'll keep an eye on that story.
Bernard, suspend sale of hotels NPRA to SNIT. The National Pensions Regulatory Authority NPRA has ordered the Social Security and National Insurance Trust SNIT to suspend its plan to sell majority stakes in 5 underperforming hotels to Rock City Hotel Limited. This development comes amidst concerns over the financial viability of the properties and their impact on the pensions funds. Meanwhile, Member of Parliament for North Tong, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, has described the directive as an initial victory. So he's quoted here saying, "I'm glad that finally the resistance of the people, the voice of the people, and in this matter the overwhelming majority of Ghanaians were very emphatic, from organized labor, civil society organizations, the chiefs of law, the chiefs of Gamashi, and every Ghanaian, including those of academia, were very unequivocal. It did not make sense. It did not meet conflict of interest standards. This deal was not in the national interest, and yet SNIT was defiant. What we want is a cancellation of
Meanwhile,
this deal."
the DG of SNIT has revealed that it had halted a negotiation leading to the sale, and that this is in line with the MP directive. And they are also saying they're going to consult further. So Mr. Kofi Bosompe Mosafo, at a media engagement over the weekend, added that they will embark on a more stakeholder engagement on the matter to let all the partners and actors appreciate the need to reduce the interest in these hotels, for SNIT to reduce their interest in these hotels, so they can get more from the investment in the sector. The DG added that these negotiations were done in good faith to ensure that they got the best out of SNIT's assets. All right, now let's get other stories this morning.
Page 3 of Chronicle, back to sender. Now, this is in relation to the IGP's leak tape saga.
All right.
The story says the Special Parliamentary Committee of Inquiry that probed the content of the leaked audio discussing how to remove the IGP, Dr. George Akuffo Dampare, from office, says Superintendent Eric Emmanuel JB and George Lysander Asari lied under oath. In its report, the committee noted that some actions of the two officers sought to undermine the authority of Parliament, crossing the line of contempt of the House. As such, the committee has recommended that the two be referred to the Privileges Committee for appropriate action. The committee said that Superintendent JB, in his testimony under oath, denied ever speaking to Chief Bugri Nabu directly on the phone of Superintendent Asari, but he later changed his earlier testimony and affirmed that he spoke to Chief Bugri Nabu on the phone.
All right, a few more stories.
The Finance Minister and GRA boss snub Akufo-Addo's directives on SML. Herald newspaper is writing, in a surprising turn of events, Strategic Mobilization Limited (SML) last week went back to work under the direction of the Ghana Revenue Authority (GRA) after a 6-month suspension ordered by the President Nana Akufo-Addo. The resumption of work comes despite a specific directive from the President to renegotiate the agreement with SML and present it to Parliament for approval following the release of the KPMG report. Now, many have attributed the wobbly nature of the KPMG's report to the audit company's relationship with the government, citing it as the reason behind the failure of the government to refer the audit service or a truly independent body for the audit as demanded by some civil society organization. Herald is alleging that some members of Parliament who have requested anonymity have expressed their fear of losing their seats if they speak out on the matter.
All right, let's come to the Napo story. The publisher is leading with it.
Yes, majority backs Napo. Now, the story is saying that, well, the initial part of the story is stating what we already know, that the Vice President has settled on Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh as his running mate. But the new angle is that the majority side of Parliament has agreed. Now, Alexander Penyomarkin, and they are quoting in an interview he granted us last Friday on Eyewitness News. He says, quote, "Our party leader, Dr. Baumia, met with the leadership of the majority caucus of Parliament and conveyed that Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh was his choice for running mate. I have engaged the caucus in the feedback has been positive. The generality of the caucus is in support of his choice. For it to be official, there has to be a National Council meeting for the final decision to be taken. End quote.
All right, let's get into the graphic front page.
Yes, free SHS bill goes to cabinet. 6 cancellation of BEC for SHS admissions. SHS to be 6 years now. Severus Kailideri and Samuel Doe Ablodepe are writing that the free senior high school bill 2024 will be presented to cabinet for a debate this week. The proposed bill being drafted by the Ministry of Education is to give legal backing to the provision of free and compulsory education at the senior high school level. The Minister of Education, Dr. Yawase Duchim, said last Friday that the bill would also propose the decoupling of junior high schools from basic schools and make it part of secondary school, thereby creating 6 years of secondary education. The minister said another proposal of the bill was the cancellation of the BEC as a precondition for gaining admission to secondary level.
Staying with education, if you go to page 2 of the Daily Searchlight newspaper, it says schooling under trees, Banda Sanwa DAJHS cries for decent classroom block. Now the Banda Sanwa DAJHS in the Gbao Sanwa electoral area in the Banda district of the Bono region is in dire need of a modern classroom block to facilitate quality teaching and learning. The dilapidated mud house structure housing about 61 students has been put up by the community through communal labor. The assembly member for this area, Honorable Kofi Bwedi, discloses in an interview with Radio West Africa's Nanan Fre Damanata on Friday morning. According to him, the unit committee members informed him of the dilapidated nature of the school.
All right.
And so when he visited, he,
there's almost always a story in the electronic media about a school that's left like this. Now, let me give you 2 big stories here. The Asantini is asking Bagbin a question, which I think we should all answer. The Asantini, Otunfose to the second, has expressed concern over the intense desire of many individuals to become members of parliament. During a visit from the Speaker, Alban Bagbin, to the Mensha Palace on Sunday, the Asantini questioned the reason behind the eagerness of many to join parliament, noting the extreme measures some people are willing to take, including insults and physical attacks to get into parliament. Why is it that everyone wants to go to parliament? What is there that people will beat others and insult others just to go to parliament? There is something that you have to pay attention to, Otunfo said to Bagbin. He highlighted the unrealistic promises made by some parliamentary candidates, emphasizing that MPs do not have the budget to fulfill said promises. I think this is an interesting question we should all try and answer. But I'm sure we know the answer. Something needed. Now, the good story though this morning, the one that I think is a bit hard on me, UGMC successfully completes the first set of 6 kidney transplant surgeries here in Ghana. So the University of Ghana Medical Center Limited, UGMC, has announced the successful completion of its first set of 6 kidney transplant surgeries. Now, in a statement issued Sunday night, yesterday, the medical center said the surgeries were performed under the leadership of a highly skilled and dedicated local and foreign medical team. The UGMC has so far conducted 6 kidney transplant surgeries with utmost precision, care, and expertise, it said. Now, according to the head of the urology of UGMC, Dr. Emmanuel Asante, the procedures were performed seamlessly, showcasing the center's capabilities in complex surgical interventions and post-operative cure. And then the chief executive of the hospital, Dr. Kwame Enim Buama, on his part said the successful completion of the first set of 6 transplants underscores the center's commitment to pushing boundaries, achieving medical excellence, and improving the lives of patients. Imagine if we had more UGMCs.
I know,
so
right?
the one in Kumasi, Afari, and then I think there's a Ashanti Regional Hospital.
Yes.
And then there's
Sewa
one
and all that.
Yes, Sewa and Afari. They should finish those. Do one big one in Tamale. Do one in every regional capital.
Sharp.
Get our doctors to stay.
Sharp.
And we'll stop spending money
Absolutely.
for treatment abroad.
In the meantime, a concerning story coming in from the Upper East region is that wee toffee is becoming popular among SHS students.
Okay.
It's the Chief Executive Director of Life Out of Alcohol and Drugs Ghana, Load Ghana, in the Upper East region, Roga Atembera Abba. He has raised an alarm over the increasing consumption of wee toffee among senior high school students. The substance is a local concoction of marijuana, condensed milk, and sugar, and has reportedly become a popular snack among learners, raising significant concerns about its impact on their health and academic work. If you visit the various SHS, it is bad. The wheat toffee is common among the students where they get them. One can't tell where they get them, but these learners are consuming these substances like there is no tomorrow. And I think authorities ought to strengthen efforts that can curtail this growing behavior among the learners.
2 road stories. Over the weekend, the whole road was blocked. The one that goes from Atimpoku to Asikuma because of rains, but the road has been open to traffic yesterday. That happened. Story says the Ministry of Roads and Highways has initiated emergency repairs on the Atimpoku Asikuma road, which suffered damage due to severe flooding on June 29. A portion of the road near the police barrier caved in. This is the second caving in. First one was on the Winneba Road, following a heavy downpour, as seen in a viral video on social media. According to a statement from the ministry, the road has been open to traffic after an intervention, but that after an assessment, the ministry said the bridge is in good condition, allowing the road to reopen to traffic, but they are, however, mobilizing resources for emergency remedial works on the damaged sections and is collaborating with the Ghana Hydrological Authority to improve the river's flow. So that's story number 1. Story number 2 on roads. This was near Nkoko. This road was blocked because a trailer from Burkina Faso got stuck on the road and caused a 5-hour gridlock.
What?
Guys, it was so serious.
5 hours.
5-hour gridlock that I think as of the time of going to press, as of July. Okay, let me give you the story. Trailer accident causes gridlock at Asuna near Nkoko. A trailer traveling from Burkina Faso to Accra involved in an accident at Asuna, a town near Nkoko in the Kuru West municipality. It's not clear what caused the trailer to overturn, blocking the main Accra-Kumasi highway in the process. No casualty was recorded, but the accident caused a massive gridlock on the stretch, which left hundreds of travelers using that stretch stranded in more than 5 hours of traffic. Some commuters told Channel 1 News that authorities should speed up work on the liberalization of the Accra-Kumasi highway to avoid such situations in the future.
Bernard S. had one here. The late Komla Dumo's elder sister Mawena Treba laid to rest. Story in the Anchor newspaper. The former CEO of the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, GIPC, Mawena Ajo Dumo Treba, was laid to rest on Saturday, 29th June 2024. The service took place at the Holy Spirit Cathedral in Adabaka, Accra, where family, friends, and dignitaries gathered to honor her memory. A bit of background on her: she made significant strides in her career, becoming the first female CEO of the GIPC from April 2013 to January 2017. Before this historic appointment, she held esteemed positions at the Ashanti Goldfields Company Limited and Newmont Ghana Gold Limited, breaking barriers as the first female underground exploration geologist and later serving as head of corporate communications. And then she had strides in telecommunications
MTN as well. We wish her soul to rest in peace. Condolences to Professor Dumo and also to Koshi and the rest of the family.
Husband as well, Flight Lieutenant Divine Treba, and their daughter Catherine Joy.
On that note, we say thank you to Nathan, thank you to Caleb.
Thank you, Bernard.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Google me. At what time when you come back, we are not hear the sound of your car. Why you buy new car?
No, I not change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Cause now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind, Seth, be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium, they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open there.
So where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, they make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make I feel the gobe too small.
Go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
My body, when you wake up in the morning, and you know the money calling, oh you go work, but you know inside your side, if I believe with us, if I hold my hand and believe, cause you know inside your side. for believe with us. Fidelity. Oh, if I know I dey your side. Fidelity.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Citi Business News with Nila Tilate, brought to you by Access Bank. Let's get into the details.
Hello and welcome to the breakfast edition of Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goil and Access Bank. Coming up this morning, pressure on government to check election-related spending intensifies after Ghana secured board approval for the immediate release of $360 million under the IMF bailout package. Also, more cement manufacturers to increase prices from today amidst proposed airline to regulate the cost of the product on the market. Plus, we'll tell you why you are now paying more to mend your footwear these days as we put the spotlight on the business of shoemakers. My name is Nila Tilati. Welcome to the month of July and thank you for choosing us this morning. Details of our stories now. Economic watchers have backed the caution from the International Monetary Fund that Ghana ought to control its spending to avoid fiscal slippages this election year. This comes after Ghana secured the IMF board's approval of the second review of the IMF-supported post-COVID-19 program for economic growth. The approval allows for the immediate disbursement of some $360 million to Ghana and bring total disbursement to $1.56 billion. Citi Business News is learning that processes for the third tranche to be credited to the Bank of Ghana's account have already commenced and that funds will soon hit government coffers. But head of data science and economic policy at the University of Cape Coast, Professor William Bredu in Siedu, tells Citi Business News government must be prudent going forward.
We all know what goes on during the election year, trying to please the electorate, trying to just pump money out there just so somebody would forget about his or her worries in a transitory moment and just vote for you. We all know of all of these. So we have to find a way to really impose a check on some of these happenings. How are we going to ensure that if the voters themselves don't open themselves up because he's hungry, he just opens himself up to anything. Once he can get a few CDs to quench the hunger, then so be it.
That was the head of data science and economic policy at the University of Cape Coast, Professor William Brafu Asiedu. Now, more cement manufacturers are set to increase prices beginning today. The adjustment is driven by exchange rate volatilities and inflationary pressures. The price hike is happening at a time a proposed legislative instrument led by the Minister for Trade and Industry, K.T. Hammond, to regulate cement prices is fiercely being opposed by industry players. Citi Business News sources indicate that, for example, Jata Cement will see a price increase from 91 Ghana cedis to 100 Ghana cedis effective immediately. Meanwhile, the Ghana Chamber of Construction Industry is urging the Trades Minister to address the root causes of the increment in cement prices rather than seeking to regulate them. CEO of the Chamber, Emmanuel Cherry, spoke to Citi Business News.
See, they want to stay afloat in business, but in as much as they also are trying to actually stay afloat, they must try as much as possible to break an even. So by breaking an even, how do you handle it? The clinker, how do you call it, close the blind eye to the exchange rate, to the forest, and trying to what? Lose its gas, and then they come to wishy-washy, trying to do something as if it's to no, it will not wash. The problem before us is about the forest. What are the government policies to regulate? You must not forget that Minister for Trade and Industry, you have duopolies, you have double roles to play in there. You must be very careful. In as much as it's trying to at least play smart to look in the eyes of the public, that doesn't work, doesn't wash.
CEO of the Chamber of Construction Industry, Emmanuel Cherry, there. Away from that, the Independent Power Generators Ghana has described as inaccurate the government's claim that it has reached an agreement with the IPPs to restructure the debt owed them. Finance Minister Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam at a recent town hall meeting in the UK said the agreement includes the IPPs accepting a reduction in their claims, allowing the government to spread payment over a 5-year period. However, reacting to the comment in a Citi Business News interview, Chief Executive Officer of the Independent Power Generators Ghana, Dr. Elikplim Kwabla Apetogo, said the last engagement of the IPPs with the government negotiating team occurred in April 2024. Thus, no agreement on the terms have been reached.
This is an issue of national interest and a very sensitive one, of course. Sincerely, I expect the Honorable Minister of Finance to be accurate and honest in whatever feedback or information he gives to the public. If you meet a session of the IPPs and agree to terms, it doesn't mean that you have agreed to a deal with all the IPPs. You cannot generalize. It will interest you to know that since April this year, some of the key IPPs have not been engaged in any discussion. And that means that we have not reached a deal, or they have not reached a deal with the negotiation team. So it is misleading and inaccurate to tell the public that you have reached a deal, a debt restructuring deal with the IPPs. Let's get serious and find a solution, a sustainable solution to this matter.
You heard the Chief Executive Officer of the Independent Power Generators Ghana, Dr. Elikplim Kwabla Apetogo. Government secured 2.99 billion Ghana cedis from the Treasury bills market at its last auction, surpassing its target of 2.65 billion Ghana cedis. This oversubscription, however, occurred as interest rates on the yield curve remained stable. It signals a slight rebound in the demand for the short-term instrument. Majority of the bids came from the 91-day T-bills, where 2.36 billion Ghana cedis was tendered. The uptake was the same. 573 million Ghana cedis was tendered for the 182-day bill. All the bids were accepted. For the 364-day bill, 64 million Ghana cedis was tendered and all were taken. Interest rates for all tenors remained the same. That of the 3-month bill stayed at 24.87%. That of the 6-month and 1-year T-bill stayed at 26.8% and 27.78% respectively. You may not recognize the crucial role they play until your footwear needs repairs. In Ghana, cobblers are the unsung heroes of the bustling street, restoring footwear and other items into their former glory and preventing expenditure on new items. In this report, Citi Business News' Daniel Sakiti shines the spotlight on cobblers, locally known as shoemakers.
It's early morning and Akwesi Ofori, a cobbler, has set off to work. He carries an improvised box, hitting his stick against it to attract potential customers, ready to repair footwear on the spot as he roams the neighborhood of Achimota and its environs. This is the daily routine of Akwesi Ofori and many of his colleagues who use their skills to repair and restore footwear, providing essential services for those who cannot afford to buy new shoes every time a pair gets worn out or damaged. Akwesi Ofori tells Citi Business News that while it is challenging to roam about in search of customers, he prefers it to being stationary.
We struggle while roaming about, only occasionally getting customers. Our patronage is highest on weekends. On weekdays, I make about 50 cedis, but on weekends, I get a lot of customers. I prefer roaming around because I wasn't getting many customers in my neighborhood.
Some of these skilled artisans have gradually turned their craft into thriving businesses. Inside Nyamitiase footwear shop, Simon Gavo and 2 apprentices are busy with orders from clients for footwear. However, the availability of raw materials and the increasing cost of production are negatively impacting their business. The owner of Nyamitiase footwear shop, Simon Gavo, tells Citi Business News that while these challenges have been difficult as he passes the cost of production on to customers, the business has been good since it started.
Today, like I said, I've been to the market. This Birkin stock wood is increased now. It used to be 36 cedis at Accra. But today when I got there, it's 40 cedis. So as I'm here now, we'll have to increase it small.
That was a report by Citi Business News' Daniel Sakite. Catch the full report on Channel 1 Business on Channel 1 TV later tonight at 8:50 p.m. Finally, before I go, let me take you to the Forex market where the dollar is selling at 15 cedis 80 pesos. The British pound could be sold to you at 19 cedis 80 pesos, that of the euro going for 16 cedis 85 pesos. And that's it for the breakfast edition of Citi Business News, proudly brought to you by MTN, Goil and Access Bank. For now, you can visit citinewsroom.com/business for more on our top stories. My name is Neil Latte. Do have a good business day.
Beautiful people, we are live in town, soaking in the excitement about the partnership between Access Bank and PABS, revolutionizing the way people move money across Africa. Let's hear directly from those reaping the benefits.
It's a relief. Anytime I send money back home, my family receives exactly what I send them, instantly.
I'm studying in Ghana, but originally from Nigeria. With this service, my parents send my school and hostel fees directly, and they do it with so much ease.
I run a fashion business. Let me tell you, sending and receiving money across Africa without those annoying forex fees has really cut down our operational costs.
Benefit from instant payments across Africa with zero foreign exchange hassle. Visit our website www.ghana.accessbankplc.com or call our toll free on 0800 00 4400 for all your cross-border payments.
Pass it with Access Bank.
Access Bank, more than banking.
Good energy hits the road with exciting choices to energize your ride, giving you more options to take you further. Watch this space for your choice.
Goil, yeah.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Bank, we've brought banking closer to you with our agency banking service called Access Closer. Yes, we've brought banking right to your neighborhood. Look out for an Access Closer agent in that neighborhood store, mobile money outlet, supermarket, barbering shop, or pharmacy near you. You can deposit or withdraw cash, pay bills, buy insurance, transfer cash to other banks, link accounts, mobile money wallets, and so much more with Access Closer right in your neighborhood. Call 0302-742-696 to register as an agent. You can also come to our website www.ghana.accessbankplc.com for more information. Kickoff is next with Bernard Abeiku Ochre, sponsored by Lesheho. The fixed deposit solution is your best option when it comes to investing, making your money work for you. You know, when you're young, you work for money. When you grow, your money works for you. No, it's true. I want to transition from working for money. Working for money means the only money you get is what you do physically. You come to work, do MC, do all those things. But your money working for you is invest it.
Absolutely.
So like you go to Lesheho, you buy fixed deposit, and then the money will be working for you. And you just be looking at the money.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it happens. But I need enough to start letting it work for you. That's the trick. So call them now, 027 004 0799, or send them WhatsApp. Tell them you want your money to work for you. You are tired of working for money. Now money must work for you. You might WhatsApp them on 027 004 0733. Learn more about how you can make your money work for you with Lesheho. Let's improve life. And there's a simple truth about love. It drives us to give off our very best. In the same way, Shell fuels drive your car to peak performance. That's why every car loves Shell. With over 100 years of innovation, you won't just be buying any fuel, but the most advanced fuels, which will save you money in the long run. Shell Fuels with Dynaflex are Shell's most advanced fuels designed to prevent deposit buildup and keep your engine clean and protected. Drive into a Shell station today and fuel up your car with Shell Fuels designed for engine efficiency and performance. Give your car the love it needs for better journeys.
Williams is onto this, and Georgia could be in trouble. Nico Williams to send Spain through. That quality tonight. Dani Olmo puts the seal on it for Spain.
La Roja will call it a perfect night after Rodri, Fabian Ruiz and Nico Williams and Dani Olmo all scored as Spain came from behind to beat surprise packages Georgia by 4-1 last night. We'll tell you more in a bit, plus review the big night at the Ghana Football Awards. All of that plus some tennis and Formula 1 coming up pretty shortly. I am Bernard Abeku-Autry. Thank you for joining me for the very latest in the world of sports right here on the Citi Breakfast Show. First on the list, the 2024 Ghana Football Awards took place on Saturday, celebrating significant achievements in the sport. West Ham and Ghana star Mohamed Kudus, Jennifer Kankam-Yaboa, Yusuf Basigi, and Mukarram Abdullahi were among the top honorees of the evening. The event was hosted at the Accra International Conference Centre, drawing the elites of Ghana's football community. Here's my colleague Gabi Ofe with more.
Mohamed Kudus emerged as a top winner on Saturday night, being named Footballer of the Year for the second consecutive time. The West Ham United standout outperformed Abdul Fattah Isaku, Osman Bukhari, and Inaki Williams to claim the prestigious individual honor.
And the winner is Mohamed Kudus.
Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to Mohamed Kudus, 2024 Footballer of the Year, the Ghana Football Awards. Let's put our hands together for him.
I want to use this opportunity to give thanks to everyone who puts in effort to make sure this nice event happened today. I'm happy to be named as the Player of the Year. It's a testament of my hard work from my teammates, my family.
Kudus' goal against Freiburg in the Europa League was awarded the Goal of the Year.
Kudus picked it up, wants to run with it at every opportunity now. He's off on one of his mazy runs. On and on he goes! A thing of wonder to seal the deal for West Ham United. Wow!
Ghana Premier League champion Samatex 1996 dominated the night with 5 awards. The club CEO, Richard Duansentry, was named Best Ghanaian Club CEO. Samatex 1996 also won Male Team of the Year. Kofi Ban was honored as the Goalkeeper of the Year. Emmanuel Keyeke was recognized as the Home-Based Footballer of the Year for the men's category.
First of all, I'd like to say a very big thank you to God. It's by the grace of God that I've won this award. Oftentimes, this award mostly goes to the strikers because they have the last touch. And winning this as a midfielder, I'll say a very big thank you to God and also my colleagues here. I thank them for their support. I can't do this alone. I'll say a big thank you to them. Thank you.
And New Dean Amadou was named Men's Coach of the Year. Dreams FC Abdulaziz Issa, after his stellar season in the CAF Comfort Cup, won the Odate Lamte Future Star Award. Most vibrant club on social media went to Dreams FC. Casfodians were awarded the Special Fans of the Year. Home-Based Footballer of the Year for the female category went to Abdullahi Mukarama of Azakes Ladies. For the Women's Coach of the Year, it went to Black Princesses and Azakes Ladies head coach Yusuf Basigi. Jennifer Kankam-Yaboa, who played for ZFC in Egypt, won the Women's Football of the Year. Ghana's amputee national team, the Black Challenge, were awarded the Special Black Challenge Award.
Well, that's the very latest from my Gabi. My colleague Gabi Ofe with a wrap of what transpired at the Ghana Football Awards on Saturday. Away from that, the Ghana Olympic Committee says it has secured 35,000 euros in funding for Team Ghana's pre-game preparation ahead of the 2024 Paris Games, or as the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris. So Ghana will compete for laurels in the men's 4x100 meters relay, 200 meters race, high jump and swimming. In an interview with Citi News, the president of the Ghana Olympic Committee, Benunu Mensah, said the GOC is also in talks with the sports ministry to receive approval for the tournament's budget.
GOC sent a budget for the pre-games and then the competition itself. The pre-games, we're looking at a budget close to about 35,000 euro, which the GOC has told the ministry that we'll take care of that budget ourselves, because we're getting some funding from the French embassy for the free games. I've also just instructed the accountant to speak to the IOC and ask for the pre-games training subsidy. So if we're able to source all these two funding levels, definitely the GOC on its own would have enough money to take care of the pre-games training, minus of course air tickets and per diem for the athletes, which we made very clear to the ministry.
Meanwhile, Team Ghana is expected to travel to Strasbourg in France on July 7 to begin camping. Ben Mensah said the camping will be for 2 weeks.
We've made arrangements so that all our qualified athletes, that's the whole of Team Ghana, will arrive in a city in France called Strasbourg on the 7th of July, and then they stay there, do their pre-games camping, and then on the morning of the 22nd of July, they will leave Strasbourg by train to Paris and then move straight into the games village, and then the games itself starts around the 26th. So yes, would I wish we did 2 months, but at least we're going to get a 2 weeks preparation. And if you look at the track and field team, these are young boys and girls who have been very active. They've been on the international competition road, so I believe they are well groomed. All we need to do is to be in Strasbourg for like about 2 weeks so they can acclimatize, and get used to the weather in France. So I'm hoping that even though we couldn't do the 2 months, it will not affect their preparation that much. But
you heard from the president of the Ghana Olympic Committee, Ben Mensah. To some athletics now, and at the Legon Stadium, it was the final of Ghana's fastest human competition. The event was held at the Athletics Oval of the University of Ghana Stadium. In the seniors men's 100 meters final, Edwin Gadei secured a hard-fought victory with a remarkable time of 10.24 seconds. He edged out a strong challenge from fellow Olympian Safo Ansah. Here is Edwin Gadei with some few words after the race.
I'm very, very happy for this opportunity and for this day, because I've been trying for this for years, but now my God be so good. Today I'm here with the trophy as a winner. I'm very, very happy. And I will say thanks to Mr. Rex for this wonderful opportunity, and my coach. He has been so good to me. The determination, the hard work, the sleeplessness, everything. I'm so glad. I would say a very big thanks to GMPC.
Let's head to the Euros now. Bellingham became the youngest player to score for England in a European Championship knockout match, as his stunning stoppage time finish helped the Three Lions come from behind to beat Slovakia 2-1 and advance to the quarterfinals of the tournament. Here's Jude Bellingham after the game.
It's a feeling that, is like no other. I think in international football, in knockout football, it's even a worse feeling because, you're 30 seconds from going home, having to listen to all the rubbish, feeling like you've let a nation of people down, and in 30 seconds or one kick of the ball, everything can change. And it's a feeling that I don't like to be in, but when it's done, it feels great. So it's a habit that I've picked up from Madrid. Obviously my game's improved a lot since I've joined, and really grateful I could bring it to this game.
Still staying on the European Championship in Spain, came from behind to beat Georgia 4-1 and reached the quarterfinal, continuing their 100% record against the Crusaders despite a determined display from the tournament plucky underdogs. Here's what Rodri thinks about his side's progression to the quarterfinals. He spoke through an interpreter.
Well, this is the parts, the rivals that we are getting
are the ones that we're getting. Every national team has a very high level these days. Every team has different weapons. Georgia may have not be a big name, but the level of intensity and competitiveness is very high. Obviously, Germany at home is going to be very strong, but we have no fear. We have our own weapons. I'm sure they will be worried about us too. We need to play a fantastic game, of course, if we want to go ahead to the next stage, but we need to be confident and know that we are here to try to win. We're not here to play well or to give a good image. On Friday we're going all out to try to win. That's what our mentality has to be.
Or Spain will take on host nation Germany in the next quarterfinals. For England, they have Switzerland to take care of in the quarters. So later today in the round of 16 is France up against Belgium at 4 p.m. and Portugal take on Slovenia at 7 p.m. And this is where we bring the curtains to an end. For the very latest in the world of sports. There is more sports later at 5 p.m. You can head to citisportsonline.com for more stories. Kickoff is proudly brought to you by Shell, Lechejo, and Zonda. I am Bernard Abeko to Sport. As life, get involved.
Different cars take different journeys. The strong ones build big cities that people thrive in. The agile ones take us to work there, so we can make a little chop chop. The dependable ones are always present in times of trouble.
So this morning at 9, EdTech Monday, the one that we were to have.
The one that almost got away.
Yeah, this one is on AI.
Yes. We are looking at the future of EdTech in Ghana, and we are asking if there's a case for AI-powered learning. So it looks like now we are embracing it, and we are trying to see how we can use it to help our learning.
Who are your panel members?
Yes, I have Rashid Musa. Rashid
right.
Musa is an AI integration specialist.
All right.
Then Joseph Fabian Aitevi, he's CEO of Cognitive AI Technologies. He will join us via Zoom.
Wonderful.
Ethel Kofi is board chair of Ghana Government ICT Sector Skills. Ike J. Mensah, he's CEO and co-founder of Deaf Can Talk. Now, that's a very interesting part of this morning's discussion. He's a coach, like I said, CEO and founder of Deaf Can Talk. He will bring a student of his who has a speaking and hearing challenge, and they'll communicate using an app.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yes, they are.
Wonderful.
And then, so Esther Na Kofi is
and all
the
this
student.
is AI powered.
Yes, and she's with the Presbyterian College of Education. So this morning is an AI heavy morning on EdTech Monday from 9.
And later this afternoon, Channel 1 will be bringing you live coverage of the Republic Day public lecture organized by the One Ghana Movement and the Command and Staff College of the Ghana Armed Forces in partnership with Channel 1 Television. And guess who's the main speaker? The topic is reflections on the democratic control over the military, a way forward for sustainability. Guess who the main speaker is? Francis Poku. Esquire. Francis Poku is going to be speaking live on Citi. Some of the discussants include Professor Kwesi Enin, who is a review lecturer, Excellency Josephine Nkrumah, who is an ambassador now. She was the head of the NCCE. And then Dominic Nitiwo is the chairman, is the defense minister. This is at the Ghana Armed Forces Command and Staff College this afternoon. So live on Channel 1 TV. Happy birthday to Wilhelmina Fatih Nelson, coming in from your son Zilix Dwayne. This man. Later in the morning, with all the noise being made about IMF and the fact that we have received another $365 million or $360 million, does that mean that they will fix our roads? For me, that's the most important question. What does it mean for our roads? And I just wanted to say something quickly before we get into what's on my mind today. We tried something and it has not worked. And we just need to admit that we were wrong and then we shouldn't do it again. The motorway has been very, very pothole riddled. Yeah. And we have been shouting about a permanent solution to the motorway. We're told that there's going to be a full makeover where there's going to be basically a new road that will be constructed, and the motorway as we have it will be redone. This is what we were told. I remember this interview with the Minister of Roads. So I think 3 or 4 months ago, bitumen, or is it asphalt, the asphalted portions of the motorway, particularly the Accra bound side, the asphalted portions of the motorway that had really gone bad, and for a short period it was really great. Yeah. So if you're driving on the motorway, you are enjoying your drive. It's like, actually, from concrete to asphalt to concrete, it was really nice. Well, it didn't last.
It hasn't?
For the past 2 weeks, the asphalted portions have developed gullies.
True.
And I feel this is more because the two materials didn't bond well. So you have particularly there's a certain part of the motorway that initially got broken a few years ago. This part, they put over maybe 500 meters of asphalt. It's bad. Driving on it can actually damage your car tire, because it's the asphalt has developed like large gullies of potholes. So that experiment, I don't know whether it was the engineers or whoever came up with the idea of putting asphalt on concrete. The experiment has not worked, and the motorway, at least the portion that was covered with asphalt, has gone really, really bad. So Highway Authority, I think you should come and correct your notes.
But truthfully, the quality of roads we drive on in Ghana is not good.
But I need to say something though. So on Friday, I went to in Ekropong.
Oh, okay.
That's Godfrey's hometown.
Right.
Ekropong. So on my way back, I decided to use the Ashesi Road. Ashesi Road to check it out. It's okay. So they've not put any.
Progressing?
So what they've done is that they've used the. I don't understand the expression, but basically the road is smooth.
They've paved it.
No, they haven't put anything on it.
Okay.
They just used the materials. So
That's right.
Yes. So they have graded the road and they've put a roller to pass over it.
And so it's paved.
And then they've put this they put these metal rods.
Okay.
It's like they are trying to demarcate the road.
Okay.
So the work seems to be progressing steadily.
That's nice.
It seems to be progressing steadily. So all the way from Kitasi to Brekusu, that road, which we shouted about,
is taking form.
The only problem is that I don't know the pace. I don't know the pace of the road.
But what was the state of the Koforidua Road, the Koforidua Road?
So when you so the one of the best roads I've seen is the road that takes you from Adenta, Oyarefa to Ayimensa.
Right.
That road is okay. Then when you climb up the hill to Pediasi, it's okay.
Super.
Then you get to Kitase, you're moving to Kokonuru, you're going to Eburi. It's not too bad.
Yeah. Mamfe, thereabouts.
Mamfe is also okay. Although people are speeding these days on that road.
Mm-hmm.
Weekends people are misbehaving on that road. I don't know what's happening to people. They are just misbehaving on that road.
Yeah.
When you get to Mamfe, there's a bit of traffic.
Yeah,
now, if you're going to Ekropong, the road, the bypasses are okay. Now, if you try Koforidua, a lot of the Koforidua side is not good.
It's terrible.
So when you do Mamfe to Koforidua, it's not too good.
Yeah.
But if you do Mamfe to Ekropong, it's above average. It's above average. The problem though is when you use when I got to I got to Comet Estate.
Yes.
So I got to Brekusu.
Yes.
Came down to Comet Estate.
Right.
And then I got to Kwabenya.
Kwabenya.
Kwabenya Road is very bad. All the way to Pokwasi. So coming in from they call it Ashoman Estate.
Yeah.
Then I got to the road that takes you to Pokwasi.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
And there's a lot of traffic on that stretch.
A lot of traffic between Old Ashoman and Kwabenya. Kwabenya, maybe for the first 200 meters, a lot of traffic. Then the road opens up.
Yeah.
Then I go to the Pokwasi interchange. Now, if you're coming from Kwabenya to Pokwasi, be very careful. You may be going to Accra, but you end up in Samam.
Yeah.
Because there are three. If you're going to Awoshi, left. If you're coming to Accra, middle. If you're going to Insawam, right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, the road from Ofankor to Insawam is also being done. When it rains, it's pretty bad, but they are working on it. So you can say that road is semi-okay. They are fixing it. All right. But I was just happy to see contractors doing some work on the Kitasi to Brekusu Road. On the Kitasi to Brekusu Road. The road is very long. They had put the laterite, they had graded it, they had used a compactor to pass over it. So maybe by end of year, who knows? Another road that's delaying, which is annoying me, is the Flower Pot Road.
Yeah,
that road
could have eased a lot of traffic.
Taking too long. The other annoying one is the Tema interchange, the one that takes you from the Harbour Road into 22, taking too long. I don't know whether they are working one brick a day. Maybe it's like one day, one concrete. It's too slow. They should hurry up on that road. The Obeche Bilamte, I haven't checked recently. The day 1st May when we did the family consecration, the whole place got flooded, also because of the road. So usually when the road is being done, it configures the flooding. So
flooding,
there was a lot of flooding at the oil dome, outskirts of it. But I think that when the road is finished, if they finish the drains, that may.
When I returned, using that stretch, I realized they've diverted oncoming traffic from those who are coming from Kaneshi towards Graphic onto those of us who will be going to Malam, for example. So traffic had moved this way because they're trying to fix the drain that goes towards the Total or Shell on the right hand side like that. So if you are turning towards Kolebu, they're trying to fix the drain because anytime it rains, it floods that area and the potholes redevelop. So they're trying to fix the drain on that stretch, which is a good thing. But then again, in terms of communicating the diversion of traffic to motorists, it's very poor. So you get to discover it as you go.
I just wanted to say something too. because of the rains we're seeing, a lot of roads are being exposed for potholes.
Yeah.
All right. Over the weekend, the Atimpoku Juapong Road got overrun by rains, and for almost 2 hours nobody could cross because the road is very low and the bridge is not that high. So we had videos of that road. Basically, for 2 hours, people couldn't, almost more than 2 hours, people couldn't cross. So if you're going to Ho, you either had to come back and go and use the Sogakope road, or you just had to go back from Ho back home. That's something we should watch out for, because this is the second road that has become impassable because of rain. The first one was the one on the Winneba Road.
Yeah.
So I think we need to do some work on some of our culverts and bridges, because the rains really expose the bad quality of some of these roads.
Another bridge of such kind that is a disaster in waiting is at Ashoman. If you go past the
this old Ashoman?
Old Ashoman, yes.
So are you talking about the Ahmadiyya?
Yes. Because that place, the pothole around that stretch is really occasioned by the bridge. The culvert is small. When it rains, it will flood the area. So
but
just that stretch.
They didn't finish the bridge.
Oh.
So I think the contractor's money got finished. They were doing a road and they got to a bridge and left it.
But the potholes there is very tragic. It's not good. Something must really be done.
But I think the major issues this morning have to do with what the IMF program means for freeing up money for infrastructure. Because we've had interviews on this show where a number of major road projects have been left unfinished because the debt exchange, particularly the debt exchange.
Yeah.
Now, I remember the major roundabouts on the Dowenya Road. Almost all of them have stopped because of debt exchange. Now that we've finished with the official creditor committee, we've had a Eurobond deal struck as well. What does this mean for these road projects? We'll try and find out later on this morning on the show.
I just want to make a quick observation. So there's a road that connects the bridge just before the Bema camp, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's you call it the Mahama Road.
Yes.
Towards Chain Homes.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have an assembly member there? Do they have a district chief executive of MEC?
So are you talking about the road that is like the airport bypass?
Yeah, that's right. See, when you get to, there's some bridge just between them, and then you see some.
So from Elwak, then you, instead of going over, you turn left.
Yes, you turn left, and then that takes you into Chado, and
yes,
if you are
so
going
it takes
to
you to Palace Mall.
Mm-hmm.
It's called airport bypass.
Airport bypass.
And then it takes you to, they call it Major Mahama roundabout.
That's right.
Yes.
I think it is an embarrassment.
Why?
That so many people live along that corridor.
Yeah.
And I believe they have MCs and maybe they pay property rates.
Mm-hmm.
And the median of the road, you can catch Bela there.
Oh, yeah.
Bernard,
yeah.
the grass is so tall.
Yes.
The weed has
maybe they are doing
over.
reforestation. Using road medians as an exhibit.
Bernard, I mean, you can't live in a city like that. You are going towards Leicester, coming down. I mean, it is just a major embarrassment.
And it's actually La Dade Potopon Assembly.
Mm-hmm. There are so many people looking for jobs to do.
And by the way, that area has some of the most expensive real estate in Ghana.
Yes. I was going to the area over the weekend.
And there's no street light.
It's just,
there's no street light.
Just so bad.
So basically from Gifford Road bypass to, so it's the Gifford Road that takes you to Palace Mall.
Mm-hmm.
That's the bypass.
Yeah, it's I mean, the person who is the DC or MC for the area, I mean, should be ashamed of himself or herself. Because you cannot allow that to happen.
But can the people who live there also do communal labor? Can they come out on Saturday morning, do keep...
You know, previously, former President Mahama did something brilliant like that. But you know, things like that are not sustainable.
You need a more concerted effort.
Yes, because in any event, look, without any disrespect to our people who are serving jail term,
you can use some of them.
You can use some of them to address these societal
So they should
problems.
have used like... Look, the problem is that the assembly doesn't work.
But
and it's the assembly concept doesn't work. Let me do a quick interview.
You see, that is why we have it.
Let me talk to Benjamin Aklama on the Juapong Atimpoku Road that had a major situation over the weekend. Ben will tell us more. Ben, good morning.
Good morning, Bernard.
So can you describe exactly where on the Accra Ho Road this portion is and what happened over the weekend?
So this is specifically between Japan and Ludu. And you realize that if you are exiting Japan, there's a police barrier, then you meet the railway that goes across the road, and then you move out of Japan into Ludu. It's just before that police barrier. And that culvert had been in a bad shape for some time and was worked on. In fact, the road had caved in, part of the road had caved in some few months ago and was worked on. The whole stretch was worked on, the area was patched nicely, and that culvert was worked on as well. Unfortunately, that area is quite a low-lying ground, and it got flooded over the period. That is an area that it's not easy to get another road around it if you are going either way, headed for Accra or headed towards Ho. And not just Ho, Peki, Germany, anywhere else across Japan. It's a difficult way to go around, and going around it is quite difficult. So that specifically is where the incident occurred.
So it's because the place is low lying, but did the river overflow its banks? How come for over 2 hours nobody could cross?
So that area looks like it's a stream of a sort that runs across through a culvert. But the downpour, increased the volume of waters around that area, and then it just inundated the culvert.
How long did it cause the traffic, and what eventually happened?
So we understand that we started seeing the water level started rising around 3-4 p.m. and it receded far after 8 p.m. later that evening, and so people were stranded on either banks of the water. The water receded by itself, but it had an impact on the road. The freshly placed bitumen surfacing has been removed in some areas, and the people are worried that the problem is not solved. The culvert is not big enough, the road is not high enough, and so any other downpour of such capacity or such volume, could cause the same problem to recur.
So which means that more work is needed there as a permanent solution?
Absolutely, indeed. In other parts of the Japan town, the drainage in the town appear not to be really fit for the number of people living in the community now. So there are several other areas that got flooded, which obviously there should be some engineering work done.
Thank you for talking to us. Benjamin Aklama. We'll talk to you again soon. 7:54. Two quick comments coming in on this matter. So, I initially said that the Kitasi Road was progressing steadily. Well, it's not good to say something when you use a road only once. Here's Cyril from Kwabenya. He says, good morning, Bernard and team. The pace of this road you talk about is very slow. First Sky had only skeletal staff working on the road. There are sharp stones and potholes at certain portions. The laterite has been swept away by the rain due to the slow nature of the work. All the cars still have their shocks at the mercy of the road. So Cyril says, I should not be too quick to say the road was good. So Cyril, I have taken due notice of that particular one. Let's do a few quick announcements.
Sure.
I'll come back on the road issue shortly.
Bernard, we're talking about living rooms, making them classy and a good place for memory of family, and Ashford is coming your way with a masterclass range of sofas and couches to fit every corner and space in your living room or balcony. We offer exquisite range of modern designed living room sofas, couches, center tables, wooden beds, headboards, wardrobes, dressers, everything you need, chairs for your poolside, balcony or garden area. Just visit our showroom across the country and delight yourself with our stylish living room furniture crafted with the finest wood or MDF. Call us on 0243 200 729 or 05590 27907, or visit our showrooms in all big malls and other locations near you. We do deliveries as well, so but be mindful of internet fraudsters. We have been certified. We have our ISO numbers. We are manufacturer of foam and other home soft furnishing. Be an Ash Foamer now. Ash Foam, feel it now. But Bernard, I know you would love to visit the Olympic Games in Paris. That is, if you have some time. Now, all you have to do this is to experience the perfect holiday getaway, courtesy Zenith Visa card. Spend a minimum of 3,000 Ghana cedis in at least 5 transactions with Zenith Visa card, and you win an all-expense paid trip to the Olympic Games in Paris. Also up for grabs are other consolation prizes. So make it a memorable summer with your Zenith Visa card. For more information, visit www.zenithbank.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
Now, there's a new and exciting chocolate beverage out there on the market from the producers of Cowbell. Let me introduce you to Twisco. Twisco is a chocolate fruit drink with a blend of premium cocoa powder enriched with Enafort, a combination of energy-boosting minerals and vitamins, including B, vitamin C, D, iron, and so much more. And you can get Twisco to buy in 20-gram sachets, so you can just go out there and buy from the nearest shop near you. Start your day with a cup of the great tasting Twisco and power your dream. This ad is FDA approved. Now, you want to go to Turkey to take care of an illness or a condition you are not happy with. Okay. All right, let's talk about traveling to Malaysia and Singapore. Apologies there. So between the 9th and 18th of September, we are going there on the wings of Global Wings Travel and Tours. Pack your bags and call them on 0553 688 398 or 0550 188 181 and get to find out all the interesting details, where you'll be going, how much it will cost you, and get ready to go. Pack your bags and let Global Wings whisk you away on the journey of a lifetime. Now, imagine buying and selling across Africa from the comfort of your home or office without changing your currency. Imagine doing all of this with your mobile wallet. This is possible with interoperability of payment. So on the 5th of July at the Labadi Beach Hotel, there's the Africa Prosperity Network, and it will be hosting the continent-wide Mobile Interoperability Symposium. Be a part of building a connected continent and be a part of something wonderful. Call 053-609-8325 to register, or send an email, protocol@africaprosperity.network. The future of borderless mobile commerce starts here.
So, Bernard, behind the Amasaman Olympic Stadium is a university that is doing amazing things, providing a missing link in tertiary education through creativity and innovation. I'm talking about the Heritage Christian University. Since 2018, it's giving a sum of 450,000 Ghana cedis, has set up grants to a number of its students to start their businesses. A huge emphasis on entrepreneurship, technology, practical learning with professional certification is what they do. They offer programs like BA Psychology, BBA Accounting and Finance, BBA Logistics and Supply Chain Management, Bachelor of Community Development and Theology, Bachelor of Theology and Ministry, and a host of other programs. They do offer master's programs as well. To qualify, you must have WASI, ABCE or GBCE, be a GBCE holder or HND diploma holder, or as a mature student, you must be 25 years or above. They are affiliated to KNUST, UCC, and accredited by GTEG. Call us on 054777731 or 020-229-8399, or visit our website www.hcuc.edu.gh. Heritage Christian University College, educating compassionate entrepreneurial leaders.
It's 8 o'clock. We're bringing you tech and social media trends. We continue with our discussion on the economy and where our roads are. It seems to us that the road projects are too slow. And meanwhile, Yofi from Splinter says, Richard is right. The monument in memory of Major Mahama is overgrown with weeds.
Wow.
You know?
Wow.
And what's even funny is that this is just behind Bema Camp.
Wow.
You know, and there's a new estate developing on the right.
There's a military cemetery there.
Yes,
too.
and there's a military estate we put up there. There's even a military detachment at the Major Mahama roundabout. Maybe they should get some soldiers to do the weeding.
It's just shameful.
Bernard, when they say that Kigali is clean, It's not a miss. From Kigali all the way to Musanze. And this is like the second biggest city, and you're going towards the northern part. We went to rural areas, Bugesera and other places. Everywhere is clean. When I got down,
are you sure they didn't take you?
No, from the
nice places.
Bernard, we went to villages in Rwanda. From the airport to the Jubilee House, I saw plastic rubber flying all over the place.
In Ghana or there?
Oh yeah. Before you go there, they will give you a checklist. They don't allow plastics and things. There was a cameraman who came from Zambia. He tied his tripod with plastic. Airport while they removed the plastic from that.
You are not entering with.
You are not going there. We are not serious about this cleanliness.
You didn't see rubbish.
Bernard, not pothole, not rubbish, not anyone burning refuse, as I found on Adabaka streets this morning.
Wait, take your time. How many kilometers did you travel before
Bernard,
you did see pothole?
Bernard.
Did you travel to their Insawam, to their Kumasi? Did you go to
we
their
went
home?
to the east, we went to the south, we went to the north, we went to the central parts of Rwanda.
You didn't see pothole?
We want excuses for ourselves.
You didn't see pothole?
No.
You didn't see
where there was a pothole, there was a truck being fixing it. I'm telling you.
Serious?
And this was out of Kigali.
Did you see cows?
Oh, they were they were on the plantations. They were on the plains because cows are a big thing. Cattle is a big thing for Rwanda.
But they were not walking.
No. They were not close to the road. There were robots by the road. If you are speeding above 60 kilometers, you get this thing email quick. You are paying. I thought I was in the UK at the moment.
As in, there were speed cameras.
Yes.
Tickets will be issued.
Yes, right away. And you don't joke with Rwandan police.
Don't collect bribes.
No, you can't.
Are they on motorbike?
You don't try. They are standing there.
So when you're speeding, will they stop you or the light?
No, you will just get an email. It will come through.
Because of your car number?
Yes. Hey. Everything is technology.
Charlie.
And the cathedral we are building here, they have a convention center. Proper one.
Ghana, make what is great.
They are going.
Stop that thing. 3 minutes past 8. Take a social media trends brought to you by
First Bank Ghana, and tell us First Bank says your biggest dreams start small. So this long vacation, enroll your children or your awards on the First Bank Ghana Junior Internship Program from July 15 to September 15, 2024 to enable them gain valuable work experience. All you need to do is to sign up your children or awards for the Kids First account designed for children up to the age of 16 or for the Me First account made for teenagers aged 13 to 17. Make an initial deposit of 300 Ghana cedis in the account and apply for the First Bank Ghana Junior Internship Program. Your child, your award, will experience an exciting 5-day internship at any of our branches, get to participate in any essay writing competition and win an attractive cash prize if his or her essay is judged as one of the top 3 essays. To find out more about the First Bank Ghana Junior Internship Program, please call 0596 921 921 or email firstsolutions@firstbankgroup.com. First Bank Ghana, you first. And you're about to have the world at your fingertips because the wait is finally over. Telecel is here. Now you have everything you want and need: quick and reliable communication, stress-free money transactions via Telecel Cash. Transform your big business ideas into success stories and Telecel Business with Telecel Business and more. Connect with Telecel and enjoy a world of endless possibilities because with Telecel, there's no limit to connections. Telecel, connecting energies.
All right, so it's time to look at what's trending, and Nathan will take us through that.
Okay, let's start off with some football. And the Euros are happening, so people are talking about the players like Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham scored an overhead kick to save England from elimination and embarrassment at the hands of Slovakia. England winning by 2-1. People talking about that. Bellingham, Menu, Pedri.
Menu was still doing master games.
Yeah.
When your team is behind, impossible now about master game.
Oh, well, therefore, Nico Williams, Lamine Yamal. Those are the people dominating the trends in terms of the Euros. To some other things, the phrase "he's him" is also trending. So that also emerged after Bellingham scored the bicycle kick. So people are talking about people who show up in the moment of greatness,
when it
right?
counts.
Jude Bellingham and
Solid.
all of that. People are talking about
Solid.
him and other things. Hashtag BET Awards is also trending. The BET Awards 2024 happened in the US over the weekend. And the biggest stories from that particular event was Will Smith. Will Smith debuted his new song with Kirk Franklin and a few others. You know, so that's what's happening there. Very interesting things happening. South African artist Tyler won the best new artist as well. So people are talking about several things from that event. Lauryn Hill also performing there. So that's why the BET Awards trending. In terms of Ghanaian politics, Sammy Gyamfi is trending. Now, pictures and videos emerged over the weekend of Sammy Gyamfi apparently or allegedly in the US, chilling, living life, Miami. People are saying all kinds of, they say, hey, why is he there? So Ghana money. Some say, hey, he's an opposition leader. Shouldn't he go? All kinds of debates on social. Charlie, so Sammy Gyamfi is trending. Republic Day is trending. Today is July 1, but unfortunately it's not a holiday. So we are here doing the work of the Lord.
You don't seem happy about that.
Oh no, I'm just saying. I mean, I've accepted it.
Meanwhile, of course, today on EdTech Monday, we are looking at AI.
AI, yes. AI-powered learning, whether there's a case for that in Ghana.
AI-powered learning.
Yes. Quickly, to some tech news. Now, the state of New York in the United States has just passed a law on addictive social media feeds for children. Okay, now, that has happened, but some researchers are questioning what that law means. New York Governor Kathy Hochul was clear about her opinion on social media, social media earlier this month, and she said that it's designed, or the law is to design 18-year-olds from the dangers of the online world. But some people wonder whether this will actually help or make a lot of sense.
The best law is to seize the gadgets and have no gadget man in my house. Because Facebook, they will do what they want to do. Sky, if we don't make word in our houses,
that's
Charlie, we have to lay the law down.
That's right.
For the kids, because Charlie, when they take the gadget, they don't want to put it down.
Yep.
So this month, no phone, no tablet.
We've confiscated all of them.
Seize everything. Just go and play football.
Thank you.
Go and run.
Going up? Yes. After you. No, you first. No, please. I insist. You first. I wouldn't dare, my friend. You first. Beauty before brains, my friend. You first. The honor would be mine. You first.
Oh, my word. And I hear they were there the whole day. Our employees take our You First philosophy to a whole new level. Get used to a bank that believes in putting you first. FBN Bank is now First Bank Ghana. First Bank Ghana. You first.
I send them, you get them. I get them, I send them.
I get them.
I pay them.
I get them. I take them.
You get them.
I send them.
I send them, you get them. I get them.
I buy them. I take them.
I pay them. I send them.
Telecel Cash. Experience the ultimate convenience of sending money on Telecel Cash. Sending money from Telecel Cash to Telecel Cash is free. You can also make payments to merchants on all networks. Enjoy best value and total security with Telecel Cash.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at
Channel 1 TV is live on DSTV, GoTV, and HD+. On DSTV, find us on Channel 363. On GoTV, we're on Channel 117. And on HD+, get us on Channel 108. On a digital TV, run a new search. But take note that without an antenna, you cannot access Channel 1 TV. Channel 1 TV can be accessed on any free-to-air digital box, like the DSTV and HD+ boxes. Channel 1 TV, telling your story, empowering change.
There's no price like the ShopRite price. That's why we are committed to bringing you lower prices on all the essentials you need. Like 450 gram Abina spaghetti for only 8 cedis, 99 pence worth, and 1 liter Cindy sunflower oil for just 39 cedis, 99 pence worth. Never pay more than the ShopRite price. Prices valid until 7th July. Only at ShopRite.
Get ready for the splash of a lifetime. The Channel 1 TV National Swimming Championship is here. On the 13th and 14th of July 2024, witness the ultimate test of tenacity and endurance, where teamwork and camaraderie meet the thrill of competition. Join us at the world-class Boateman Sports Complex at 9 a.m. Be part of the excitement as swimmers from across the nation compete for glory. Powered by Channel 1 TV in partnership with 97.3 Citi FM and the Swimming Association. Don't miss out on the action. The Channel 1 TV National Swimming Championship, where champions are made. See you there. The date again is the 13th and the 14th of July 2024. The venue is a brand new world-class Boateman Sports Complex and the time is 9 a.m. each day. For inquiries, kindly call 0558 973 973. The Channel 1 TV National Swimming Championship. Dive into greatness.
Hi, Mom, it's me, Kwame.
Hey, Kwame, how are you?
Mom, I'm fine, oh.
Okay.
You know something?
No, tell me.
I'm looking for a complete furniture set for my new place.
Kwame, I've told you before, the only one place you should go, eh?
Yeah, Mom, but I need a mattress to fit my bed.
Ash foam.
I need a bed to fit my room.
Ash foam.
What about a sofa where it go relax my body?
Ash foam.
Wardrobes to fit all my clothes?
Ash foam.
What about linens and pillows for sweet dreams?
Kwame, ash foam.
Mommy, I feel you. Ash foam all the way.
From mattresses to beds, sofas, wardrobes, linens, pillows, and more. Don't waste time and visit any Ashfoam showroom across the country or call our hotline at 0243 200 729. Ashfoam. Feel it, know it.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
Coming in on roads, but I want to go back to one of the big stories for the morning. During the newspaper review, we discussed Ghana getting a $360 million payout. This is an IMF tranche. This is the third tranche, I believe, and that brings the total to 1.56 billion cedis received by Ghana so far. And what will these inflows be used for? Most of the newspapers are reporting that this money is going straight to the BOG. Is it currency support? Is it budget support? What really is that? Now, there's also announcement around the deal struck with our official creditor committee. So, as you know, Ghana has, in a way, 3 debt restructuring programs. The domestic one, we're told you that about 8 billion cedis in savings for the government. Then there was the one with the bilateral creditors, which yielded 5.1 billion cedis in deferred payments. 5.1 billion cedis in deferred payments. So basically, it's not like the debt is forgiven, but you will pay later. But that was within the G20 common framework of Paris Club sovereign creditors and China. So you had the Paris Club led by France and of course China. And then that was 2 weeks ago. And then last week we were also told that Ghana has made some progress with 8 Eurobond creditors to rework $13 billion of Eurobonds, which is another significant development within our debt restructuring journey. Now, ahead of all of this, and as part of all of this, there's going to be a big discussion tomorrow hosted by the University of Ghana on the economy. It's called the Quarterly Economic Roundtable, where the ISE and the Finance Ministry will have a discussion about the state of the Ghanaian economy. But let's talk to technical policy advisor at the Ministry of Finance, Dr. Abdul Ganiyu, on a number of issues. So first, $360 million coming in, and then we'll also look at some of the debt issues and then tomorrow's program. So Dr. Ganiyu, Abdul Ganiyu, thanks for joining us. Good morning.
Good morning, Bernard. Thank you very much for having me.
Great. So I don't know if the summary is okay. The IMF is approving a $360 million payout to Ghana, and this is the third tranche of the $3 billion, bringing the total to $1.56 billion. Are these facts correct?
Yes, so it is exactly that. Right after the second review, we had indicated that the IMF were going to the executive board and they were going to sit on the 28th of June. So our expectation was that the review was going to be approved, and once that was done, then Ghana was going to receive the third tranche of $360 million. So that's exactly what happened on Friday, and the minister put out a statement to that effect. So today we expect the $360 million to hit our accounts at the Bank of Ghana.
Is there a specific use for that money? Does the IMF tell us what to do with it? Is it our decision? What would that 360 be used for?
Yes, over the 3-year extended credit facility, any tranche that we receive is expected to provide support to the budget. So at the end of the day, you've had problems in terms of raising revenue, you've had issues with balance of payments, and of course, you've had issues in terms of your inability to go to the bond market to raise money. You've had issues in terms of your inability to pay your debt, so that then makes it very difficult for you to raise additional financing to support your budget. So the IMF reliefs would simply come to support your budget so that you are able to keep within whatever revenues you have and also whatever expenditure that has been planned for the fiscal year. So any tranche that comes would simply provide significant support to the budget. So the $360 million is expected to provide support for the 2024 budget.
But specifically, it appears this would go to strengthen the cedi. If you look at multiple reports from most of the news portals, indeed, Bloomberg is reporting that this new inflow will help the Bank of Ghana defend the cedi, which lost about 22% of its value against the dollar this year. Is that correct?
So exactly that. Once it comes, $360 million is expected to show up the reserves at the Bank of Ghana. There are some other inflows that are expected to come in the course of the year. And as I have indicated over and over, this certainly will strengthen the cedi. As you have rightly indicated, the cedi has lost some value. It's less than 22% anyway. The year-to-date depreciation, it's around 18%. So that is still lower than what the depreciation was the same period last year. So our expectation is that once the 360 million comes in and some additional 300 million from the World Bank in the form of the development policy operation and many other inflows that are expected to come, that certainly will strengthen the city because the Bank of Ghana reserves would have been shored up. So that's our expectation going forward. The city has to be stronger with all of these inflows that are expected.
All right. Now, it appears the disbursement was predicated on a review, but it seems as if the agreement with the bilateral creditors for deferment of the 5.1 billion plus the announcement around the Eurobond creditors and the agreement, I won't call it an agreement, okay, the agreement in principle with private creditors on the 13 billion were two key things that the IMF looked at to sort of go ahead with the clean bill of health for the next review. Is this correct?
It's very, very good. But the signal we had gotten from the IMF was to the fact that even if we do not have these agreements, they could see the trajectory, they could see where we were headed, and going to the executive board on the 28th of June, we still would have gotten the approval for the release of the $360 million. But as you rightly indicated, why not? If all of these things have come in before the 28th of June, then it made it far more perfect than anybody would expect. So it is what it says. Initially, we had gotten an agreement in principle with the bondholders, but that did not still fall within the parameters of the debt service sustainability, which is supposed to be around 55% by 2028. And going back to them and now securing the deal, it means that we are on course to achieving that debt sustainability target. And before that, we had secured an agreement with the OCCs as well. So it all just tells you the amount of work and the effort that have been put into this. And finally, Ghana, we can say we have successfully restructured all our debts, both domestic and external. And I think that the IMF would have been far more happier and far more confident in whatever program that Ghana is undergoing with the fund, so that by 2026, we should be able to achieve all of the targets that have been set under the program.
But just to be clear, the 5.1 billion that we owe bilateral lenders is a deferment of payment and not a debt forgiveness. So essentially, they are saying that we will pay at a later date. Is that correct?
Yes. There are two things to look at. Yes, there's a moratorium between 2023 and 2026. Within this period, there will be no payment of principal. Yes, there will be no payment of interest. Now, beyond 2026, we then have to pay the principal, but the interest will come at a reduced rate. So if you put all of that together, there is still going to be a savings of about $2.5 billion because there is a reduction in the interest rate, and not paying the principal over the period does give you some amount of savings as well. So if you put all of that together, it's a significant savings of about $2.5 billion. So it's not really the case that, okay, we are just extending the repayment period, but at the end of the day, there's really no reduction in the debt. If you look at the agreement, there is a reduction in the interest rate. I'm not going to be able to put out the specific reduction in the interest rate. There have been some leaks here and there, and if you go through those leaks, those kind of figures have been put out, but it shouldn't be coming from an official source. So as far as the non-disclosure agreements we have with all
fair
of
enough.
these
Yeah.
bondholders.
So fair enough on the 5.1, but on the Eurobond debts, which for listeners' clarity's sake, this is to private creditors. So for the the bilateral is monies we owe official governments as managed by the G20 Common Framework. But when it comes to the Eurobond, these are private creditors. We understand that we have agreed in principle to rework $13 billion of Eurobonds. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. So there again, we have reworked the 13.1 billion in such a way that there is a 37% reduction in the principal. So that again gives Ghana a debt relief. And if you work out the figures, it's around 4.7 billion US dollars. So it's just the matter of taking 37% of 13.1 billion. So that is what you get. But there will also be a reduction in the interest rate within the fund period. The fund period is between 2023 and 2026. So this reduction in the interest rate comes with another close to 4 billion. So that's why we are saying that over the period, you are talking about some 8 billion US dollars to that effect as well, out of the 13.1 billion. So that again is significant debt relief. And if you add that to the one we have secured with the bilaterals, it's something over 10 billion US dollars.
Fair enough. So if I add how much we have saved, that's quite significant. But the question though is, our understanding is that we are reorganizing almost $40 billion of debts under the G20 Common Framework, which includes domestic debt, bilateral debt, and then private Eurobond debt. So if we reworked 13 billion under Eurobond, 5 billion under bilateral, and also saved some 8 billion under domestic, we still have a way to go. I'm not sure if we can accurately say that we are done with the restructuring, unless my arithmetic is wrong.
We are basically done. What we just left would be the other commercial creditors, aside from the bondholders. And in line with the comparativity of treatment, the expectation was that we should be able to secure those deals as well. And that will close the chapter. Now, as I indicated earlier, the most significant thing is bringing all of this to a point of debt sustainability. And that debt sustainability target is 55%. So everything that we have done going forward to 2026, Ghana, we can say, is assured of a debt sustainability of 55%. So that's where we are, so as far as the restructuring of these bonds are concerned.
When we discuss roads and deferred projects, a lot of times when I interview the Minister of Roads and I say, why is this road not being done? They'll say, oh, because of debt restructuring, the road has frozen. In fact, they mentioned many roads. I think they mentioned Obechebilamte, they mentioned some of the interchanges leading to the Pram area, and quite a number of them. Now that you are happily announcing to us, and we are happy to hear that almost all our debt restructuring is done, does that mean that these road projects are starting immediately?
Well, I think that there's a need for us to be measured when it comes to that particular expectation. If you look at the fund program, year on year, we have a ceiling of about $250 million. That is after we have successfully restructured these debts in terms of what can be released by the bilaterals to fund projects that have been stalled. We are talking about $250 million. But all of the projects that have been stalled, which require some funding to be executed, even if it is year on year, it would exceed the $250 million. What that means is that Cabinet and, of course, with the Ministry of Finance will have to prioritize what are supposed to be the key projects that should be able to come under this particular financing ceiling. So that conversation would go on. My boss will lead that. And at the end of the day, we should be able to prioritize the key projects that, if you want, execution of those projects would have to resume in the course of this year, and going into next year, some more projects we would have to resume. So as far as execution is concerned, all coming within the ceiling of $250 million. So that's what we expect going forward. And as soon as that priority list has been done, we should be able to put that out. Then we will be able to identify the specific project that execution will have to resume for the year.
So basically, we need to wait before we start rejoicing over specific projects, because that's what people have been clamoring for. Right.
Exactly. So it becomes more of a cabinet decision. So priority list of projects that we have to resume execution, all coming within the ceiling of the $250 million under the fund program.
Now, ahead of all of this, there's a big discussion tomorrow, the quarterly economic roundtable with ISE. What is that about, and does that got anything to do with what we are discussing this morning?
To a very large extent, yes. And going forward into the long term, what is it that we need to agree on? So as far as the priorities for economic growth, economic development is concerned, Minister Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam has operated an open door policy. And as you know, every month, for example, he updates Ghana through the media, something that is quite unique. And I'm sure for most of what you have discussed, me and all other media houses that are discussing matters about the economy, it's simply because people are now seized with the facts. People are seized with the information. So that consultative process has been ongoing since he assumed office as finance minister. We think that there's a need for us to create a platform for academia, and that conversation has been ongoing for a while. We put together various committees, and we have gotten to a point where we believe that we should be able to organize the maiden edition on Tuesday, and that is the 2nd of July. So it's basically a platform for academia, but academia also relating with civil society, relating with industry, relating with policy, so that we can discuss the excellent issues that confront our economy. Then we'll be able to carry everyone along. So that's basically what the quarterly economic roundtable is about. We should be able to do that every quarter. So if this is going to be the first edition, expectation is that before end of year, we should be able to do another one. So then basically that's the rationale.
And so basically this will be economists from the University of Ghana and other places discussing the state of the Ghanaian economy.
Exactly. So the theme for this particular one is restoring macroeconomic stability. We believe that it is appropriate. Matters about macroeconomic stability have been on the front burner since we signed up for the IMF program. So bringing academia, bringing those from the policy side, bringing those from monetary, bringing those from industry, with you, Bernard, and the host, we expect that a lot more issues are going to come up on that platform, and that should be able to inform policy going forward.
Finally, sorry to take you back to debt. There's a question from Kafui at Legon who wants me to ask you if there was any debt forgiveness from Korea, number one, and number two, whether there was any IPP debt restructuring, because the IPP spokesperson denied any restructuring agreement with the Ministry of Finance. So Kafui wants to know Korea and IPP.
Yes, Korea, we've had some debt forgiveness, and there are also some more, if you want, loans that Korea have pledged to give us to fund some projects and some programs. The minister was in Korea a couple of weeks ago, and those agreements were signed. Now, on the IPP issue, I will not want to pass a comment, to be honest, because I have read that from I don't know who the person is, but he's supposed to be one of the executives coming under the IPPs. I will need some information on exactly what he said, then I'll be able to respond appropriately.
What I have heard is that the CEO of the Chamber of IPPs, Elikwe Mapetogbo, has denied that any agreement has been finalized with them as a chamber. I don't know if the negotiations are with all the IPPs or whether they are with individual companies.
There are some 4 IPPs that so far negotiations with them have ended, and to some extent they have agreed to some restructuring. So I don't know exactly which IPPs it's referring to. That is why I said I've just seen a headline. I've not read the story.
Okay, so it's a statement. So let me just clarify. It's a statement that CEO of the Independent Power Producers, Elikrima Petogbo, forwarded to media, of which Citi also received it. And he said that the last engagement of some IPPs with the government occurred in April 2024, and since then no agreement on any terms have been reached. And he says it has come to our attention that the Minister of Finance has made public statements indicating that a deal has been reached with independent power producers regarding debt restructuring. We must categorically state that this assertion is misleading and inaccurate. The last engagement with some IPPs and the government negotiating team occurred in April this year, and since then no government on any terms has been reached. The posture and generalization that the government has secured a debt restructuring with the IPPs is misleading and amounts to public deception, he added. This is what the statement said.
Yeah, that's fine, but I'm not still able to comment on that, Bernard. Minister will be having a press conference today. We'll be doing that jointly with the IMF, and I believe whatever issues there are concerning IPPs, Minister will surely talk about that. The fact is that it's quite a very difficult matter to deal with, and if he has denied, I do not want to engage in any open conversation on this matter with the IPPs. Let's get back to what the details are, that we can come back and have the conversation.
Fair enough. Thank you for talking to us, Dr. Abdul Ganiyu, who is a policy advisor, I guess, or a technical advisor at the Ministry of Finance, speaking to us this morning on a number of issues. Ghana receiving $360 million from this is our third tranche payment from the IMF. Ghana finalizing a restructuring agreement with the bilateral creditors, being the Paris Club and the Chinese, to the tune of 5.1 billion. And then Ghana also reached an agreement in principle with Eurobond creditors to rework $13 billion worth of debt. And Dr. Ganiyu was explaining to us what these meant. He also was commenting on tomorrow's, they call it the roundtable that they are hosting. ISA and Ministry of Finance having a roundtable discussion on the economy. So all of that coming up this week. He also tells us that the minister will address the IPP question, because indeed the minister had said that they had reached an agreement with independent power producers, but Eliklima Petogbo of the chamber issued a statement countering that. And now our Citi Business News sources is now telling us that 2 IPPs, Sempower and Amandi, have accepted the government's proposal to restructure the IPP's debt. But there are other IPPs, Car Power, Twin City Energy, Sunona Sugli, Senate, and AXA. Now, it appears those have not accepted. So what's happening is that maybe some IPPs have, some have not. So I think what the chamber is saying is that collectively there's been no agreement. So we need to understand the way our power system works. The VRA controls certain aspects of our power production, which includes the Akosombo Dam, the Bui Dam, and the Kwon Dam, which generate substantial amount of power. There's also the T1, TICO, and then the KTTP. These are all state-owned power plants. But there's a number of plants that are run by independent power producers. We have Sen Power, you have Amandi, you have Car Power, you have Twin City Energy, you have Sunona Sugli, you have Senate and AXA. So our energy mix includes independent power producers. Indeed, the energy sector gets some amount from this because these people produce power and sell it in foreign currency, and we sell power to end users in local currency. And when the currency loses value, we have to then sort of struggle to make those payments. So there's been a historic debt that we've owed our power producers, which has led to all these payments we make even at the pump to try and solve the power sector debts. we'll read a few comments. So you notice I'm trying to link the macroeconomic issue to the road issues deliberately, because each time we mention roads that have been left undone, the refrain of the road ministry is that, oh, we are doing debt restructuring. We are doing debt restructuring. Well, the debt restructuring is done, except with private commercial creditors outside Eurobond. So almost all the debt restructuring is finished. And he's telling me that there has to be a priority list of roads approved by cabinet for us to know which roads will benefit when the funds are freed up. So I just want to blow the alarm that, Charlie, there's going to be some lobbying for roads. So you have to call your MP quick. That the fact that debt restructuring is done, or does not mean that your road will be done if you don't do the right lobbying. So you need to, between now, as they say, you have to do the night walk. That's the expression which this guy uses. Caleb, read a few comments for me.
Yes, Bernard.
If you want your road fixed, you know what to do. Because even though the debt restructuring is almost done, it's not automatic that your road will be fixed.
Wow.
Let's deal with road issues first, then we talk about economy.
Bernard, good morning. Please, what of the Dowenya Road? What's our crime? Good morning.
Your crime is debt exchange.
Please, did you see the concrete slab dividing the road just before the Pokwase interchange? At night, there is no street light. The red and white paints have faded, and so no reflective impact, and cars are smashing them all the time.
I used this during the day, so I didn't see that.
The pace of work on the Citi Breakfast Road is very slow. First Sky Limited had only skeletal stuff. I think you read this earlier. Sarah brought that in from Kwabenya. Bernard, what you should really be talking about this morning is how long our roads last. It is only in this country that roads are asphalted, and in one rainy season it becomes unmotorable. ARS to UPSA was asphalted about 2 months ago, and it developed potholes after one rain. The Kumasi Sunyani Road lasted for more than 30 years. What is the problem with the construction these days? Bernard, what is good about the Citi Breakfast Road as it has been constructed? The progress is slow, and there are too many curves which the contractor could have straightened. See, that road will record more accidents, crashes when completed because of the... Oh, really?
Because of the curves.
I see. Mokole sent that through.
He says also most of the gutter has been constructed undersized. Well, look, I just used the road once and I was commenting on what I saw. I hadn't used the road in a long time, so I'm not saying the road is perfect. I just said that it was much easier to drive on. They haven't even reached 40% construction. So please don't misunderstand my comments on the road.
Bernard, I was in Ho on Saturday for an 80th birthday party, and on my return, we got to the place around 5:30 p.m. to meet the roadblock. The locals directed us to use a detour, which we thought was good. Charlie, for 12 kilometers, it took us 2.5 hours to complete because the road was full of gullies and canyons. Coupled with the rains, we made our way and got back onto the main road after 8 p.m.
Wow.
So if people living in those areas farm, how can they get the produce to the market?
Wow.
Simon from Wetlands sent that through.
Okay.
Bernard and team, please remind the authorities of the Santor Road, we beg. Bernard, please tell Sky that the same issue is at Tesano, along the Tesano Road between the Ghana Police Quarters and the Ghana Telecom University. The median has become a forest.
The median is not a forest.
You have to say something about the Chereponi Road. It's the rainy season again. I'm Senan Zakaria. Please.
But Chereponi from where to where? Or just Chereponi town roads?
Doesn't give us the indication.
Okay.
Please talk about our road. Why? The Pokwase Agrek to Mayura Road. We need that road asphalted. Now we are suffering Ankasa. Good morning, CBS team. We, the people of Samsam, Odumase, are suffering. Please, we are also part of Ghana.
Well,
we
get your MP to start lobbying
quick,
because when what I get from the interview is that not all the roads that were suspended by debt exchange will even resume.
Yep.
So when I talk about news, basically the roads that were suspended by debt exchange and all the restructuring may even have to, some may still not be done, right? And I'm hastening to point out that it's not, sometimes the news is funny. We report that we have received 360 million, we're supposed to be happy, but if you are now matching people's expectation to it and they say no, relax, you get it? Because in one hand, 360 million is coming, the economy, it seems to be recovering. It's okay, well then fix the road. Say no, we have to do a list first. You see, so we have to wait for the cabinet to even approve which of the roads will do what before we can even start rejoicing and talking about which road will be finished. All right, more comments coming in.
Yes, I have a comment.
Yes, quick one. Good morning. Welcome to the
show. Bernard, with regards to the question you asked, I can tell you which roads. Let's make a bet. Nobody should go and lobby anything.
You think the roads that you already have the list?
The slots have been
slots have been guaranteed, and it will be divvied up based on electoral fortunes. It will have nothing to do with planning, and I'm linking that to the. I'm making the same link you are. If you read all the comments, starting from when the premise was set, it's pretty clear that for us in Accra, the city has given up on itself. The authorities seem to have given up on itself, pretty much like the same way they've given up on everything else, including Galamsey and whatnot. I live in Dansman. I get complaints every single day from the workers on the Achampon High Street. That is from last stop to roundabout. Cattle frequent it every single day. Dansman. One time, nicest residential estate ever. You have a city where the most effective cleanup crew are a group of volunteers called Bus Stop Boys. Who now the public has to make donations to sustain them to keep the city clean. There was a documentary the other time, I think it was on City or somewhere, where there was a complaint made about a median that had grown somewhere. Do you know what they did? They weeded the weeds that people had. They cleared the weeds that people had complained about, and then left the rubbish. And went away
on the shoulders of the road.
Yes. You talk about roads that are not being completed because we don't have the money. But there's also a clear understanding that some roads will have to be built. But the decision would end up being, as we always know,
politics.
Who gives us votes at this time if we build their roads? And the bigger problem this generates, and which is where my concern finally lies, just to end my comment, is this. It ends up becoming a matter of there is nothing that is planned. It is not linked to anything. So you spoke about roads that are being built. A modern road. The roads that you've seen, have they created walkways for pedestrians?
No.
Does it look like we are building Accra again with it? Accra is a very old city. If you look, we are built. You talk about the growth of the real estate sector, but it's slowed down a bit from what I've seen with the data these days. But we are building a lot, but Accra is not growing the way it's supposed to grow. It's old.
It's not growing qualitatively.
Qualitatively. There's no plan. Everybody's building the way they want to build, including the government entities. Concrete everywhere. In this day and age, there are no bicycle lanes. You are not creating alternative avenues of transport for a growing population in a very small space. Accra is not big. That time you told me yourself, from Pram to Kaswa is not that far.
No. It's not. It's not.
Accra is not a very big city.
So you are not that optimistic that the fact that some roads which have stalled will resume means that it will go according to any plan.
Unless those roads have electoral value. Those roads will not get done.
in the times we are in.
Yes. Last week you were talking about Galamsey and why it was not done. And 2 years ago we had that conversation where I told you that Galamsey was not going to work simply because at the time that they were really in the groove of Galamsey, they saw electoral numbers in Galamsey areas and it didn't work for them. So they ignored it. And since that time, nobody has had the time or the political will to effectively deal with it, and it's gone out of control. We will have the same situation with this because the election is that important to the people who are in power or the people who matter. Whether we like roads will be, I'm not saying roads will not be fixed. Roads will be fixed.
But it will not go according to a plan.
It will not be a plan that benefits citizenry.
Because it will be more lobbying.
It will be based on which road at the moment serves as the most effectively in terms of returning votes if we fix it now.
And that's not a good way of developing.
Oh, but how? This one, do we even need to say it?
It's good to have you say it. Thank you.
Good morning.
Time check.
Good morning.
8:50. Still on the Citi Breakfast Show. Coming up after 9 is EdTech Monday, and this morning we're doing a very deep dive into AI and education. You know, there's this whole thing about whether AI will affect the way students learn in a positive way, whether people can, will students still learn? Will they be serious because AI can answer their questions, ChatGPT and all those things? So Nathan and his guests will be looking into AI-powered learning. All right. What's the topic's calibration?
So we are just asking the future of EdTech in Ghana. Is there a case for AI-powered learning?
That's something we'll be looking at this morning with a very, very interesting panel of people.
But I remember you spoke to Darlington Akogo last month.
Yes.
I met him in Kigali.
You met Darlington in Kigali?
He was one of the leading speakers on AI in Rwanda, and he was telling me...
But he's also one of the leading speakers of AI in Ghana. He was on our program.
He was telling me how receptive the country is to innovation and how slow we are.
To innovation?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Zipline started from Kigali, Rwanda.
It did?
Yeah. There were students from MIT. They tried other African countries. Kigali was the place they went to.
So
that's where they started.
Darlington was giving a talk.
Yes. And I had a chat with him for Beyond Borders. Yes, we spoke on Beyond Borders.
Who else did you meet in Rwanda?
I met Thelma Kwe. She's a leading tech person in Africa. She's based in Kigali. I spoke to a 37-year-old man. His name is Commodore. Commodore runs a big pub in Kigali. Solid guys. He's Ghanaian. And then, Axis Pensions, it's a Ghanaian company.
Yes.
They have a company in Kigali. And guess what? The owner of Axis Pensions incorporated the company while sitting in his office in East Legon. Opening your business in Kigali is as easy as that.
You are giving too much filler away.
Sorry.
you are giving post business secrets away. I don't know if they give you the permission to do that.
No, I mean, these are things we spoke about on Beyond Borders that you see on TV.
So you went to Kigali for a week and you did some interviews and you met Ghanaians there.
Yes.
Did you speak to Rwandese as well?
We spoke to Rwandans as well during the political campaigning period and all of that.
You have elections in 2 weeks.
In July 15th. There was a young girl at ALU who came to do her internship in Ghana in the education sector. And I asked her views on Ghana's education system. You need to listen to her, Bernard.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let me finish paying my bills. Then I'll come back to you. Because I think the Rwanda thing.
My God. No, I
so it's like everybody travels and comes to say good things about where they go.
No, Bernard, you see, the truth is that we have a lot going for us, but there are a lot of things that we are lagging behind. When you speak to the Rwandans who've lived there for more than 5 years, they tell you that in the last 5 years, there has been growth. Rwanda's economy is way smaller than ours. Their GDP is 13 billion. They are way smaller than we are. And the kind of resources we have, they don't have half of it. Thelma was telling me that if they were close to the sea, if they had the coast like we do, the cost of internet would be way cheaper than ours is. And I was wondering how. And she tells me that Kigali is 1,500 kilometers away from the sea.
So it's difficult to get the connections.
The cables and all those things, fiber optic cable, underground sea, all those things. But internet is cheaper in Rwanda than it is here.
Sure?
Bernard, I spoke to industry players. But when we are paying our bills, the 2024 Ghana International Product Awards is happening on Friday, the 19th of July at Mervyn Peak Ambassador Hotel. This event is the largest consumer-based review event, guiding consumers on the best products, manufacturers, distributors, retailers, importers, and exporters in Ghana. This event is powered by KN Unique Communications, a subsidiary of KN Communications Group. For more information, please call 0303 979996 or 0576914055 or visit www.gepaawards.com and hello Ghana. There is an exciting new chocolate beverage out there on the market from the producers of Cowbell. Permit me to introduce you to Twisco, a chocolate food drink with a blend of premium cocoa powder enriched with Enefort, a combination of energy boosting minerals and vitamins, including B vitamins, vitamin C, D, iron, and more. Twisco is available in 20G and can be found at your nearest neighborhood store in a delightful red sachet for only 1 CD 80 pesos. To enjoy all the goodness packed in a sachet, empty contents into a mug, mix it with 180 ml of previously boiled water, milk, and stir start your day with a cup of great tasting Twisco and power your dream. This advert is FDA approved.
Now picture this, you're lying in bed after a long day, you want to relax, but the mattress is sagging. Let that not be your story. Go to Latex Foam, visit their shops and showrooms, and experience the difference for yourself. Latex Foam is your partner for life. Call them on 0302-2311-55-62 or visit them online, latexfoamghana.com.
Now, it's a very interesting text message I got from Bridget. It says, Bernard, the Manet Junction to Kofi Annan Beach Road, I call it Okoboy Highway,
yes,
has withstood the test of 4 years.
Okay.
However, the forest on the
median,
very wide median, very few street lights, no street markings, and to worsen it, a part of it, like a joint, came apart and has remained like this, and it's just deepening and widening. Something that could have been fixed as soon as it happened.
Bernard, on that same stretch, the street lights don't work. It's very dark at night.
That's what she said. Indeed. But where do street lights work?
I don't get it.
There's no street light that works. Motorway, no street light. Even the road guys spoke about no street light.
Oh.
The Okoboy Road, no street light.
It's bad.
I think even 37 to Kaukudi street light.
Bernard, the argument is that people steal it. And I'm saying even security zones, people are stealing street lights, traffic lights. What are we talking about?
The traffic light situation in this.
Bernard, we drove
through
forested areas.
Street lights, yes.
Street light, not traffic light.
No, street lights. One day we should talk about that. But we have to lump street lights and traffic lights together.
No, the traffic light, the controller inside too, they say
no, but the traffic lights, I think there's been some improvement, marginal.
Right.
But the street lights, no. There used to be this traffic light in front of Akufo-Addo's house. Yeah. On the ring road for a long time. It wasn't working. Started working.
But street lights
street lights for I don't know, street lights the whole city so dark. I don't know why. Did you see street light working in
Bernard, I said we drove through forested areas, so like places, if you are going to western region, the way you see the rubber plantation on both sides, everywhere street light.
How big is Rwanda? Are you sure you drove that long?
No, Bernard.
Do you stand for more than 1 hour?
Then if we take you to the future,
no, you see, Japan, no, it is abro proper. This one is abro. You understand? This one is abro.
So it's only Rwanda people you are talking like this. Then if they take you to Japan, what do you say?
Bernard, it's heartbreaking. It's as I came back. Oh.
Okay. No, but Ghana is good.
It's great. The food here is fantastic. The company here is amazing. The music is fun. We love this place.
There's a question people want me to ask. The kind of show we do here, can you do it in Rwanda?
That's the question. That's the question.
You see, sometimes you have to.
Bernard, it's true, you see, but we are also saying that as much as we are counting our blessings, there are a lot of things we need to do better. Absolutely very happy to be a Ghanaian. Absolutely love the job I do and the contributions I make towards, the space. But a lot can be better.
You can have street lights, but you can't talk.
Oh, my brother.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Are you a contractor, builder, or a proud homeowner with an eye for quality and security? Well, look no further than Yale. Yale is the trusted name in security for over 180 years. When it comes to securing your home or business, trust Yale. We make security simple, and we're right here in the heart of Accra, Ghana. Visit our stunning showroom on 11th Lane Street in Osu, Accra, and discover a world of premium Yale products, including door hardware, handles, and door locks that will elevate the security and style of your space. Whether you're building from scratch or renovating, Yale has the perfect solution for you. Our products are known for their durability, innovation, and most importantly, your peace of mind. Visit us today and experience the Yale difference. Your security, our priority. Yale, locking in your peace of mind.
Hey, so what goes into building quality structures? I mean, literally, what goes into it? Wujaf, you don't want to be sitting here somewhere worrying whether or not you did a really good job. It'd be very simple equation. If there's no diamond cement in the mix, massa, forget it. Don't start cry. Menye, diamond cement has been providing builders, block makers, and construction companies that peace of mind for years. Diamond cement is 42.5 R grade cement, unbeatable quality made right here in Ghana. And because we have your pocket in mind, we provide 32.5 R grade so that everybody getting on. No long talk, Jack. If there's no diamond cement in the mix, don't start. Locate Diamond Cement Ghana Limited nationwide with factories in Aflao, Takrady, and Buipe, or call 002 0244 313 368 or 0540 111 978 or 0202 021 175. Diamond Cement, still as hard as a diamond.
Imagine a one-stop shopping experience for all things made in Ghana at the This Is Ghana Exhibition 2024.
I think it's given us exposure to help other people know that there is made in Ghana coffee.
I find it very interesting. This is my first time coming on board, but so far it's been good.
We can also contribute our quota in order to support some of these businesses.
Let's partner with you. Let's do this and then see how we can best give exposure to our customers.
Get ready to explore the remarkable fair to showcase the rich diversity, talent, innovation, and mastery of made in Ghana products and services with the This Is Ghana Exhibition 2024. Channel 1 TV and Citi FM will allow you to immerse yourself in a vibrant showcase of authentic Ghanaian products and services at the biggest trade fair and exhibition for local SMEs, startups, research and manufacturing industries, homegrown businesses, and indigenous corporate bodies Ghana has ever seen. We shall promote, support, and patronize various Ghanaian products, solutions, and services that are redefining the views on indigenous products and their packaging across all sectors.
What I bought is what I needed for a long time, and I'm surprised. So good job, Citi FM. It's really an amazing program. I'm really enjoying myself here.
The date is 31st of August and the 1st of September 2024. The time is 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. each day. The venue is the Accra Metropolitan Assembly forecourt. Kindly call 0205-973-973 for inquiries on how to participate. The This Is Ghana Exhibition 2024 is powered by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM.
Escape to Paduasi Valley Resort, where flavors come alive as we live life. Join us every Friday evening for our barbecue dinner and enjoy the juiciest of meat that melts effortlessly on your palate. Weekends are amazing with local buffets, live band music, and local drinks. Don't miss our Sunday brunch. Our chef specials and pizzas take you on a sumptuous culinary journey with every bite. Be it breakfast, lunch, or dinner, we've got it all.
My name is Akrobeto. I like my mind peace. That's why I go get my Bampo insurance from Holland Life. Just yesterday, my Abushapeni asked everybody to pay 1,000 Ghana cedis for a penny funeral. But Masa, Nukreni, and Mosomekora. My Bampo helped me cover cost of funeral and any disability cost by paying 2 Ghana cedis per Busumibia. A simple crowd.
Yes, with as little as 2 Ghana cedis, you too can have peace of mind about cost of injury and funeral by simply registering with Mibambo Insurance from Holland Life. Just dial *269# on MTN or Telecel and follow the prompts. It's really that simple. Enjoy peace of mind today, knowing your tomorrow is covered. Mibambo Insurance, made for you.
Join the conversation on the Citi Breakfast Show on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag CitiCBS.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
Hello and welcome to the June edition of EdTech Monday. It's happening on the 1st of July. We couldn't do it last week, but better late than never at all. My name is Nathan Kwa. I'm your moderator for the session. Now, this month we are talking AI. AI has been dominating a lot of the conversations. So we want to ask ourselves whether there is a case for AI-powered learning in Ghana when looking at the future of EdTech in Ghana. But for context, if you are listening to us for the very first time, and you're asking yourself what EdTech Monday is, a platform for EdTech entrepreneurs, education stakeholders, and government reps to facilitate critical conversations on the use of technology for teaching and learning. And the show is an initiative of the MasterCard Foundation's Regional Center for Innovative Teaching and Learning in ICT. And it's part of the foundation's strategy to find solutions to Africa's youth employment by closing the gap in access to quality education. So we have this lovely forum called EdTech Monday, and it's brought to us by the MasterCard Foundation. They've partnered with Mest Africa to bring you this wonderful program, and it airs on the last Monday of every month, and we are live on the Citi Breakfast Show. But if you don't have a radio near you, you can go online and watch us live on Facebook via Citi 97.3 FM or Mest Africa's Facebook page. I have a wonderful panel today. I've got Rashida Musa, who's an AI integration specialist. I've got Joseph Fabian IETV, he's CEO Cognitive AI Technology. He's joining us via Zoom. Ethel Kofi is board chair of the Ghana Government ICT Sector Skills. I'm sure it's a very familiar name. She has a very familiar name in this space. I have Ike J. Mensah, who is CEO and co-founder of Deaf Can Talk. And I have Esther Nakofi, who's a student of the Presbyterian College of Education. Now, Ike and Esther, they are bringing a very interesting dimension to today's discussion. Now, Esther is a student with a speaking and hearing challenge, and she'll be communicating with us seamlessly via a very interesting app, the Deaf Can Talk app. So be prepared to be blown away this morning by the power of AI. Let me introduce my guests. Gentlemen and ladies, good morning. Welcome to EdTech Monday.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Good.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Let me start off with Ethel and Ike. Okay, so somebody's listening to you. Ethel, just briefly in a few seconds, what do you do at the Ghana Government ICT Skills or Sector Skills? What do you do there?
Right. Well, so this was a private sector, the Ghana Government ICT Sector Skills Board. It's a private sector board created in collaboration with the German government to essentially advise the Ministry of Education and the Commission for Technical and Vocational Education on ICT curriculums. This is for pre-tertiary and tertiary. So our job is basically to say, look, we are the employers. We are the ones who need the skills that come out of school. What should the curriculums look like? We support the design. We support the strategy around all those curriculums. So that's the work.
And that's the work. I see. Thank you so much. Ike, thank you for joining us. What exactly do you do? It says here you are CEO and co-founder of Deaf Can Talk. What is Deaf Can Talk?
Nathan, thank you very much. Let me say a very good morning. Good morning to your listeners and those watching us via Facebook. My name is Ike J. Mensah. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Deaf Can Talk. So Nathan, there is a paradigm shift for a deaf student, moving from a segregated educational setup where they use the sign language for the teaching and learning process. They spend virtually 16 good years, basic school, primary school, junior high school, senior high school. Then they move to the tertiary educational system where they are introduced to a mainstream setup where lecturers no longer use the sign language. Their peers or classmates are not deaf or hard of hearing people. They cannot communicate with the sign language. So how do they assess education? How do they take lesson notes? How do they engage in useful group status with their peers? There we come in. So with Deaf Can Talk, our solution leverages machine learning algorithm and AI, said that once the lecturer speaks in this classroom, the algorithm picks the spoken language of the lecturer, transcribes, converts it into a text for these deaf students to assess. And at the same time, it saves it for them, thereby serving as a note-taking tool for them for future reference. Then more importantly, with the same model, they are able to communicate with their hearing peers. Now, once they assess the text and then the text back, the algorithm picks the text back into spoken language for their peers to also, understand what they are saying. But don't forget, when it comes to education, it's not just the classroom. Outside the classroom as well. 2 weeks ago, I had the opportunity to meet stakeholders within the educational setup, MOE and GS, and they are saying that we find ourselves under 2 of the divisions. That's SPED, Special Education Division, and SHEP, which is Student Health Program. So if the deaf student wants to access the clinic or the hospital, on campus and outside campus, how are they able to diagnose them properly and understand the exact challenge that they have brought? Okay. So with the same algorithm or the same procedure, they are able to communicate with the health practitioners on campus.
Wonderful. And you're here with Esther. Esther Nakofi is a student, Presbyterian College of Education. She has a hearing challenge, but she can communicate using the app. Maybe we should experiment.
Interestingly, all this while she's following the conversation using the app.
That's wonderful. Esther, hi, good morning. How are you?
My name is Esther Kofi.
Okay. Okay, and what do you like to do for fun?
Hi, I'm Finn.
Okay. For our listeners, okay. Wonderful. For our listeners, apologies for the silence. He's trying to employ the app, so internet it lags a little. Finally, Esther, let's talk about some of the challenges you face if you have to communicate with your friends, your family, your classmates, your teachers. What are some of the challenges you face?
I find it hard to communicate with them due to communicate barriers.
I see. And finally, is there anything you want to share with our listeners about being somebody with a hearing challenge?
I want them to know that being deaf is not a curse.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So that's how the
Let's
deaf
do a
can
quick
talk.
one. So for the first time, a deaf person or a deaf student is able to communicate with a hearer without involving a sign language translator, reducing the cost involved. And also this becomes a pocket communicator for the deaf person. So it means he's not going to miss anything that you say or you are doing. Yeah, so simple.
Wonderful. Joseph Fabian ITV, CEO of Cognitive AI Technology, he's joining us on Zoom. Joseph, can you hear me? If you can, good morning. Welcome to EdTech Monday. Hello, Joseph. Can you hear me? Hello, Joseph. Can you hear me? Okay, we'll try and work the line and get to Joseph. Let's bring Rashida. Rashida, thank you so much for joining us. You haven't said anything. You are an AI integration specialist. What does that mean? What do you do?
So what I do, first of all, good morning to everyone, to your listeners, to those checking in on Facebook. Yes, like you said, my name is Rashida Musa, and I'm the CEO and founder of Rema.
Okay.
And what we do at Rema is we help professionals and corporations strategically implement AI solutions into their operations to help improve their operations. We use education as the vehicle for AI adoption. So we host workshops, training sessions, seminars to help understand practically how to use these tools. Yes.
Wonderful. Sounds like fun stuff. But let me throw the question to you and maybe Ethel or Joseph. Let's talk about the opportunities for collaboration between edtech companies, education institutions, and stakeholders, especially ones that AI-powered learning could help address. So what are the opportunities for all these entities in this space? Rashida, let me start with you and then we can go to Ethel and the others.
I believe the opportunities are profound, immensely profound, and every day we're finding new ways to integrate artificial intelligence into the education system. When I talk about AI, especially in an African context, and making sure that AI represents us equitably, I didn't think about individuals like Esther. I was thinking about our elders who can't even speak English. But imagine you're using this tool, it only works in English, right? Once you start to communicate with a seller who can only speak Tree or Fanti, that's it. The tool doesn't work anymore. So I believe that the ways that we can integrate it are incredibly immense. We haven't even touched the surface, but we always have to make sure that an African context is included in the conversation. We can't just use these tools in English.
I see. So we need to try and localize them a bit more. Ethel, I don't know if you have anything to share.
Well, for me, as it was my job as chair of the sector skills, the ICT sector skills body, my my thinking is from two sides, right? So I worry very much about ensuring that we have curriculums that enable us to bring along the next generation of developers, the next generation of people that will be building the apps, building the things that we'll be using to integrate AI with the educational sector. That's one side. And also the conversation about infrastructure. And that's where your question comes in, is how can we begin to use AI to ensure that the infrastructure of learning is easier? And my thinking has always been that we worry a lot about sort of internet and that sort of thing, because AI, people say, but AI is up there, we have mathematical and science and those kind of issues. But my take here is that we can always leverage the complexity of AI, but deliver it in simple, sustainable ways, like they're doing with the app.
So or take you the complexity of AI and then
the
deliver
simplicity,
it.
yes. And you can even deliver it via USSD, whatever at the back end. So my take is that AI can even be used in the remotest areas, but we need to be able to connect the complexity of using the artificial intelligence and the simplicity of delivering solutions.
Wonderful. Great. I love that. Let me stay with Ethel and I'll bring Esther in. Let's talk about AI and education for underserved communities, or I can expand and say those who are underprivileged, those who have one challenge or the other. How can we get AI to help make education more inclusive for all these people to ensure that everybody has equal access to quality learning resources?
Right. Answering the question of equal access is a very, very hard question. But I think in the end, AI allows us to automate and personalize learning experiences, right? I'll give you a release. I have toddlers, and they are currently in the process of learning to read. And one of the things that I've done one of the things I began to do when they started to learn to read was to ask ChatGPT, okay, give me 3-letter words. First of all, I asked ChatGPT to design, because we got, the kindergarten, we got a report card back. And I plugged into ChatGPT and I said, hey, this is my 4-year-old, this is their report card. Can you design me a program to teach them at home so that the places where they're not doing well, we can pick up. AI gave me a really good design, and then we used that, and it's reading daily, that sort of thing. And then I used AI because now they can good enough 3-letter words. I said, AI, here is a store of the words they can read. Can you develop a few letters and a few stories, reading book stories at 4-year-old level? And then we use the illustrator to illustrate a few things, and then you print it out, and that's reading for the night. So there is a lot of ways in which AI can be employed to personalize the education experience, be it whether the child is in East Legon or whether they're in the northern region. But you have to think about how we can take the complexity but deliver the solutions simply to our students.
Wonderful. Esther, same question. How do you think AI can help make education more inclusive for people like you or students who have one challenge or the other when it comes to learning?
AI like Deaf Can Talk app can help deaf people to overcome communicate barriers and make education more accessible for them.
Okay, wonderful. So at least we've highlighted the fact that AI in itself is a great tool. So Esther, you mentioned the Deaf Can Talk app, which is a great tool for people who have hearing challenges or speaking challenges. Esther, you talk about, I like that, the thing you say about the complexity of AI and using it to deliver that. Let me bring you in. I don't know what thoughts you have on AI as a tool helping to make education a bit more inclusive for everybody, irrespective of where they are or what challenge they may face.
Yeah, I think the advent of AI is a great thing for the entire world. Trying to solve cumbersome situations, things that human beings may find it very difficult to, to solve. And so the most important thing is for us to identify the gaps. What are the challenges? And many a time, people are creating solutions without identifying even what the challenge is. They're just creating for creating purpose. And so 2 weeks ago, I had opportunity to meet stakeholders within the Ghana education sector. We met MOE, Ministry of Education, being represented by Kinsley at the time. Mr. Farquhar was coming from GES, Sendlos was there, GSET was there. And we're interested to know that the system has an ESP, that's Education Strategic Plan, that spans between 2018 to 2030. And they are letting us know some of the challenges within these areas. So the first thing is the challenge. What are the challenges? The person with a visual impairment, how are they able to type? It's a major challenge over the years. We are finding solutions to it. The person with hearing impairment, how are they able to communicate? How are they, when you look at the barriers when it comes to the deaf person, is the communication barrier. Once there is no communication barrier, the deaf person is no longer a deaf person. The deaf person is an able person. And so I think AI has come to help us to step up our game and actually do the right thing or solve some of these challenges. Barely a year ago, I was on this program, and then Ethel was there. Thanks, Ethel was there because she identified my solution. She was a judge for this program, and she identified my solution to be a breakthrough. And then afterwards, here we are solving problems that is helping people with hearing disabilities.
I see, wonderful. So it's very interesting. So from the responses, again, seeing that AI is a tool, it's very critical for its success. We need to see it as a tool, then identify the challenges, and then figure out how to use all those complex things to solve challenges that people have. Let me get to the Zoom. Let me bring Joseph Fabian ITV, CEO of Cognitive AI Technologies. I don't know if he can hear me now. Joseph, if you can hear me, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to EdTech Monday.
Thank you very much. I can hear you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Before we get into what I want you to answer, just a few seconds on what you do at Cognitive AI Technologies, and then I can ask you your question.
Oh, thank you very much. I am Joseph Fabian ITV, an AI engineer, and then the CEO of Cognitive AI Technologies. Our primary objective is to provide training for professionals and develop practical solutions to real-time challenges faced by industries and enterprises. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I want you to answer this for me. How does AI compare to traditional teaching methods, and how can AI-powered platforms enhance teacher effectiveness and student engagement in the classroom? And then how can AI prep students for future careers, especially in Ghana? I know it's a loaded question, so we can take it in chunks. So first, how does AI compare to traditional teaching methods?
Very much for this insightful question. For the sake of our listeners, let me just do a little introduction. AI refers to any technique that enable machines to mimic human cognitive or brains. The areas of AI include supervised learning, unsupervised learning, deep learning, neural networks, large language models, computer vision, and machine learning. And let me just go straight to your question.
Okay.
Partnership in EdTech using AI offers exciting possibilities, including personalized learning with adaptive platforms, intelligent tutoring system, increased accessibility for underserved communities, bridging the skill gap by aligning curriculum with workforce needs, leverage data for deeper insight into learning, and then develop strong, productive models for students. Thank you.
Wonderful. And then I wanted to find out if you could, the other part of the question was, how can AI prepare students for future careers in Ghana? What can AI do to help students get ready for the next chapter of their lives when they are done with school and they have to go on and work?
Okay, thank you very much for this insightful question. Developing large language models that showcase Ghanaian success stories and entrepreneurial challenges can be a very powerful tool. Just imagine, for instance, students learning about Kwame Nkrumah's museum architectural framework and its relevance. And then another example is that the journey of successful business, including their challenges, early wins, failure, strategies, and sustainability plans. This information will definitely made accessible at the click of a button can incredibly inspiring the guide and students towards developing something meaningful from their education.
All right, Joseph, thank you so much. I will get back to you with another question, so just stay on. And let me come back in studio. My guests are still here. I've got Ethel. Ethel is still here. Ethel Kofi, board chair of the Ghana Government ICT Sector Skills. Rashida Musa is still here. She's an AI integration specialist. She works with Rayma. Joseph Fabian, ITV on the Zoom. Ika J. Mensah, CEO and founder of Deaf Can Talk, and Esther Kofi, student, Presbyterian College of Education. We are having a nice little chat on a Monday morning as part of EdTech Monday. We are discussing the future of EdTech in Ghana, and we're asking whether there's a case for AI-powered learning. Ethel and Rashida, let me ask you, let's talk about ethical considerations and the potential risks associated with integrating AI into education. Yes, you can go first.
Well, Rashida just sidestep. No, I think there is, with any new technology, that we don't fully understand because we are now figuring out the capabilities and how far AI can go. And we've also seen that sometimes AI might not be consistent, right? Or might not give you, because even ChatGPT will tell you sometimes they say AI hallucinates, right?
Yes.
So sometimes it gives you answers that are incorrect or scenarios that might not exist. And so because we have not fully explored that, there's always worries of if we are leaving it with kids and we're using it to teach kids, which is why I always said AI is not taking the job of a teacher away. It is augmenting the job of a teacher. It's supporting the teacher because you still need the human because we haven't figured out end to end. There is also, as with any type of tech, there is always ensuring that people are using it for the good of humanity and not just for pushing boundaries that we're not supposed to push. We've seen it with the AI companies. For instance, we have a standard in the web community that says that if I put a certain text on my website, it means AI or even Google should not crawl it or scrap from the website. But the AI companies are doing it, even though it's something we've agreed on. So there are ethical issues about the people building AI, the character around it, which is why it's important. One of the things this week, actually, there is a team of 7 experts and 4 people from academia that are sitting in Cape Coast today that are starting the process of designing HND for AI.
I see.
I was supposed to be there. I will show up on Wednesday for anybody listening, so why Ethel is not there. But part of that curriculum is a big chunk, because I wrote the scope of the curriculum. Part of that is the ethical considerations, what we should be thinking in terms of morality and ethics in designing solutions. How far it's the same thing as when like algorithms on Instagram, right? Teenagers should not be looking at it because again it might be pushing content that they may like but are not useful to them. And those are things that we must teach, and which is why we're doing it, even though we are teaching how to develop AI, all those things. Underneath that, legal, and ethical implications, because the people who will be building systems need to think about the human being and the good of society while they are building those solutions.
Wonderful. Rashida?
I completely agree with the same sentiments as Ethel here. I think a lot of the issues that, the ethical issues that plague us right here in Ghana is that, first of all, there's going to be an over-reliance on these systems. Yeah. Students are going to grow up using these systems to write their essays, and they're not going to understand how to write a proper essay on their own. And then another thing is there are communities here in Ghana that don't have internet, that don't have computers. So you're going to have a generation where it's completely segmented. Some are going to grow up with AI and some are not. And, touching on data as well. Right now, there's a race between the top AI tech companies to having the best large language model. Yeah. And right now, the practice is the more data, the better the model. And so where are they getting this data from? That's where we need to think. ChatGPT, which we all love and use every day, has notoriously used data from banned subreddits. And if anyone knows what Reddit is, it's just a forum for sometimes...
people share opinions.
Exactly.
Some of them are not fact-based.
Exactly. Some of it is not fact-based. Some of it is just absolutely horrendous, sexist, racist, ableist, everything. So even if Reddit says this data is not appropriate for our platform, why are these tech companies using this data to train their models, right? So we have to think about that as well. So I believe that when it comes to these ethical considerations, the government needs to come in and set a standard for what AI models are actually deployed for our children. Because, you could, right now, for instance, Midjourney, which is a AI image generating tool, if you type beautiful woman, a white woman comes first, and second, and third, and fourth, and fifth. Yeah. But I am in a room right now with some beautiful African Black women. So what is that going to teach our young children when they start using these image generating tools and they want to do beautiful woman and they don't see themselves, or successful woman, career woman? Does an African woman come first, or second, or third? So those are things that we need to think about. ImageNet, which is the largest data set that was used to build these AI models for computer vision, has 14 million images, and only 2% are of African African data.
Wow. Yeah. 14 million.
Yes, and only 2%.
And only 2%.
Yes. I'm going to need ChatGPT to do the math on what 2% of 14 million
My brain is trying to do the math.
I'm like, let me drag the one.
That's very small.
Grossly. So what does that mean, right? So we're not just thinking about education, because AI, yes, sure, you can use it in the schools, but once you step out of the school, it's still there. Right now at Heathrow, before there was an agent that looked at your passport and let you through. What do they use now? AI. Currently, as we're speaking, in the United States, there are 200 African Americans in jail because AI misidentified them as the culprits of a crime. And sure, eventually through the due process, they get let off. But imagine legal fees, the trauma, the embarrassment of being arrested for possibly a heinous crime because an AI model misidentified you. And this is not a dystopian novel. This is not the Hunger Games. This is today in reality. So those are really key important. So again, I always talk about this, localizing the data, making sure that we are very represented in the data sets is a huge, huge thing that we need to consider.
Wow, that's some very, very deep revelations there. Yeah, so let me come back to you. We've spoken about the ethical considerations. Let's talk about the infrastructural considerations, right? So what do we need? What are the requirements? We want to integrate AI into Ghanaian classrooms. What type of infrastructure do we need? And how can AI-powered learning platforms be made accessible and affordable? So two things, accessible and affordable to everybody, whether you live in Accra or up north or somewhere in the country.
I think that's the hardest part of, at least what I do as the chair of the sector sales board, is understanding that, because it's pre-tertiary and tertiary, understanding that this curriculum has to work for a child in the poorest part of Ghana, and also has to work for the East Legon Airport kid, right? And that's the difficulty. Now, I'm going to be a little bit controversial when I say the first infrastructure is electricity.
Well, yeah. That's what makes everything happen, right?
The first infrastructure that needs to be working is electricity. Because also you have to understand AI takes up a lot of electricity.
Okay.
And this is a conversation we're not having. That the gap, the technological gap that's going to happen is also going to be affected by, right? AI takes up more electricity than most tech systems. That's one. Then we go back to your computers or your devices, right, in the classrooms. And so part of what we're designing curriculum is to think, can this, if there isn't a device, can this be taught in a way where kids can pick up, right? And that's very hard, right? But you have to think about that when looking into the design. So what can we teach if, I don't want to mention a place so that somebody gets annoyed that I mentioned their area, but you know what I mean? What can we teach that teaches the fundamental skill sets and building blocks so that child has at least the foundations? And sometimes it's not the AI is too far. Sometimes it's the math and science and the logical thinking, so that when maybe if they're out of that environment and they're in secondary school, they're tertiary, we can build on that way of thinking. Okay. Because quite frankly, I really do wish we had the answer for, hey, let's flood everybody with tablets. Let's flood it. But it's not something that we can do or we can afford, right, to do. So when we are thinking, at least pre-tertiary, we are very, very careful about ensuring that the foundation is the important thing. Your math, your science, your algorithms, your ways of thinking, that's important. That child makes it through to the next level, then we can build up, at least they're in secondary school, where there's a higher likelihood of maybe there might be a computer lab, maybe there might then you're teaching it. So at least by that time, if a child is good enough to get through to university level, they have the foundational principles. Now, unfortunately, when they enter the classroom, the airport kid versus that kid, there is still an imbalance, but they still have a foundation. So when they say now it's what tool can we apply, what tool can I learn, what tool can I pick up, because the foundation is there. One of the problems is people turn up and they don't even have the foundations. Right? And so we can't even go from there to development. We can't even go from there to design, to algorithms. Because
they are math and science.
Their math and science is not. And so electricity, math and science.
so electricity at the base.
Yes.
The devices, they can come along. So electricity important. And then the fundamental knowledge, your math, science, logical thinking. And then we build all other things on that. Wonderful. Sorry about that, listeners. So listening to EdTech Monday live on the Citi Breakfast Show. You are watching us live on Facebook, Citi 97.3 FM, and also on Mest Africa's Facebook page. All right, let me ask everybody. So I've heard from Rashid, I've heard from Ethel. Let me ask Ike, what steps you think Ghana should take? And Joseph, if you're on the line, you can answer that if you can. What steps Ghana should take to ensure equitable access to AI-powered learning technologies across the different socio-economic groups we have?
Well, I think we've come from far. We need to consider the modern trends. We always, we say Ghanaians or Africans are conservative. It's time that we need to be dynamic a little. We need to look at what is in the news. What are the Western worlds doing right that is working for them? How do we adapt to these things, right? Then secondly, we have a number of AI tools that are available, but then we are not using them. Ghanaians are creating a number of these products that are quite useful, but then for us to use our own, we try to depend on what is being created outside. I always say that we understand the culture of our people. And so our solutions have been tailored to really solve the problems.
They have better context.
Exactly. Yeah. Look at our solution, for instance. Someone may say, oh, it's just a speech-to-text model that you guys are using. But come think of it. A deaf person visits you, or you meet a deaf person, and the first thing that you say, you do is, okay, give me pen and paper. This is our culture. This is how we are solving our problem. So how do we digitize it? How do we modernize it? You understand? So the most important thing for us is product adoption. Let's try to use our solutions that we are creating within the system, because it has been tailored to actually solve the problem of our people. And that is the way forward. Because if you produce a product and no one is using it, especially within your geographical area, then you are out of business, and your sustainability plan is very, very poor. So for the users, or for all of us, we have to try to use the product that are being produced by our people. And I think it is a step forward.
I see. Thank you. Joseph, if you can hear me, same question to you. What steps should Ghana take to ensure that we have equitable access to AI-powered learning tech across the various socioeconomic groups in the country? Okay, all right. We'll see if we can get Joseph back on. But Rashid, I don't know if you have any thoughts on this. What we can do to ensure equitable access to AI-powered learning technology across every group, every part of the country.
I totally agree with Ethel in terms of energy and electricity. I think we cannot jump the gun. We cannot start using these large AI models when these students have never even used a computer, don't know how to even access the internet. And another issue as well is media literacy and information literacy. This is something that we in the West are facing right now, as we grew up with social media, but we were never told how to absorb the information, back check it, and really do our own research before consuming that information. That's why fake news is very prominent. Now we're going to see its cousin in AI, as our youth are going to start to use these models and take what it says for Bible. They're not going to have the literacy capacity to do their own research and understand, okay, maybe this isn't right. So I believe that we have to really start at the basics. From my understanding, a lot of the complaints that Ghanaian parents have about the educational system is that it's not practical. It's very theoretical. So if you're teaching children just memorization, A, B, B, they're not going to think for themselves. They're not going to expand their minds to think outside of what is being told to them. We're also a very respectful society. We do not disrespect our elders. We do not question our elders. Even if your grandmother says, put this here, and you know this is not the right place, to even challenge that is a very big disrespect. So we need to teach our youth and our children that challenging us is healthy. Challenging the way that what we tell you to do in a respectful manner is healthy. And that's going to help us adopt these solutions quite easily.
Wonderful. Let me get back to the Zoom. Joseph has joined us. Joseph, can you hear me?
No.
Joseph, can you hear me? Okay, I think he can. All right. Joseph, let's talk about AI-powered learning platforms in Ghana and how they can foster entrepreneurship and innovation among students, and to expand how we can use that to bridge the skills gap between education and industry in Ghana.
For raising this pertinent issue. Let me chip in something here. Laptops for students in Ghana. The device lacked any preloaded learning models. Okay, and here are solutions to that. Developing AI models with access to curriculums, learning manuals, past exam questions, text generation capabilities, automatic marking and grading. global certification and verification of exams and authentications. And here are some of the benefits that it can help us move forward. It will also free up teacher time, addresses large class sizes, and then reduce the urban-rural gap. All-powered learning can also reach remote areas, providing equal access to education. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's wrap it up. I'm going to throw a question all around, and I'm sure everybody has their own perspective. Let's talk about partnerships between educational institutions, businesses, and government agencies, and how these partnerships can facilitate a successful implementation of AI-powered learning initiatives. Let me start with you, and then I go around, and then I go to Joseph on the Zoom.
Yeah, so partnership is key. I think I had opportunity to be part of 12 startups within the MasterCard Foundation Tech Fellowship Program. 2 weeks ago, we were at the Safari Resorts. We had a number of stakeholders on board. Now, if we want to grow as a business, we cannot do away without having partnership with stakeholders. Okay. It's very key. Because they are the industry players. They really understand the system in which you want to enter, and so we need them. And I think it's a mutual benefit. Whilst we need them, they also need us. You understand? So, what kind of partnerships are we seeking? Is it financial, or maybe technical support? It's not every time that you need financial support. For instance, you want to collaborate with GES. GES will tell you that we don't have the money, but then we can give you the platform. Yes. Look at the structure of GES. Being a partner of your business, it gives you what we call credibility, and you need that to move to the next level. So I think partnership is key if we really want to grow as a business. Yeah. For us. Wonderful. And for them to also grow in what they are doing in terms of service provision, they also need to partner us, because there are times that they don't have the engineers or the human resources to actually pursue what they want to pursue. That means they have to leverage on software engineers like us to also develop certain models, AI models, that will help them to move to the next level. Yeah. Okay.
Ethel, your take on that? That's practically a key part of what you do.
Yes, I mean,
partnerships.
Imagine that, just the BEC, there may be 1 or 2 mock exams. It's a long time ago since I read BEC, but you know what I mean. Imagine that all those mock exams, all that data is fed into a system, and that system analyzes the data, and it's telling GES, here is your danger signs, or here's your whatever students, 10,000 students that are going to write BEC this year, and you have a major problem with understanding this basic concept in science. You have a major, here's where the kids are doing well, here's not. And then GES takes that information and then works with the teachers to ensure that the students, those areas are fixed. Those are the possibilities we have. Now, it's going to have to be private sector, it's going to be government being able to enable private sector to take a look at its data, because the thing government can give us is data, access to data, allowing private businesses to access that data, use that data to then build solutions on top of it, and partner so that those solutions then go into the classroom to work with teachers and support those teachers. Then we actually have a cycle, because then those students come out, they build more things, and we have a cycle. What I said, I said this at the Bank of Ghana 3i event, we're not first movers in AI. Ghana is not, we're not going to win because we're not the first movers. What is our advantage? What is the thing that we can bring to the table that separates, that makes us different, that develops? Here's the thing. Africa has the youngest continent, right? The average age is 17. The average age on the continent is 17. So we basically have the workforce of the future. right? So we have an opportunity to be able to own. We will not own, they've gone ahead of us, but we will own the skill sets that will build and develop, and we need to make a plan. So that's where I'm coming from with
I
this.
see. A plan. Great. Rashida.
Absolutely. I'll lead off of that. A plan is key. I mean, if we're all partnering together, but we all have our own different agendas, our own policies that we're working with, how can we become aligned? If there is a singular system, singular policy and plan that we're all following in our own way and contributing in our own way, then we can all work together towards a common goal. Correct? I mean, even you said we're not the first shakers.
Yeah.
So I love this. We don't have to invent the wheel. The wheel's already there.
Yeah.
We just have to use it. I mean, our brothers and sisters right next door, Nigeria, look at what they're doing. Already today, their law society has an AI framework that all law firms follow. That is very easy for us to do as well. So I believe that once we all have a very similar common goal, that's when we can achieve greatness together.
Wonderful. Joseph, if you can hear me, your take on this partnerships between educational institutions, businesses, and government, and how government agencies, and how these partnerships can help us successfully implement AI-powered learning.
I think business professionals should collaborate with education institutes or institutions to develop AI system which tailored to Ghanaian context. This will ensure these systems effectively prepared students for the workforce with solutions relevant to their curriculum and then the current trend of AI. Also, I think with the government support to develop AI specifically designed for Ghanaian education system and building a backbone of 5G networks and infrastructure for data storage and processing. This one will automatically include supercomputers with access to real-time data capabilities. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joseph. Before we wrap it all up, concluding comments, if anybody has any concluding thoughts they want to share. Concluding thoughts, anybody?
All right, yeah. For me, one thing I'll ask the listeners and those watching us is that just move to the Google Play Store. You type that Deaf Can Talk. The spellings is Deaf, D-E-A-F. It's a one word, C-A-N, then Talk, T-A-L-K. And then just download the Deaf Can Talk app. And perhaps you will meet a deaf person. You would like to share ideas with the person. Just activate and communicate with a deaf person. Thank you.
You mentioned that. Let me take concluding thoughts from Esther.
I think the government should put more effort into AI learning as it would promote education inclusion for all, not individuals but for all society. Honestly, education in Ghana is not favor to deaf society at all. As compared to Western outside, we are very, very slow and behind in education, and that's very bad. The government should provide enough resources for deaf people, especially deaf children. The curriculum should also be more flexible for deaf people. Like blind people, they don't write science and maths in exams. In deaf community, our English is a bit different. For example, in English we say how you, but in sign language we say how you. That's why most of us fail in exams. Most of us cannot further tertiary education. I believe that with AI learning, it will help us to move next level, equal opportunities for us all.
Yeah, thank you. Those are, a round of applause. Those are very strong, poignant thoughts and, bullet points for the government to chew on. Ethel.
I don't know that I can follow. she said it all. I suppose I only have one plug here. So, as my job as chair of the Success Sales Board, we are always looking for experts to come and help us design curriculum. So I have a preference for 80% of the room being practitioners. People are actually on the field doing the work.
So when you say practitioners, who are you talking about?
So if we're doing computer science, I want developers in the room.
Okay.
I want, you understand, I want people who are actually day-to-day doing that job, sitting in the room, helping us design the curriculum. I want employers sitting in the room so that when we design the curriculum, we know that we are getting the right set of people coming out. And so my appeal is every time I always put out, and if you're following me on news or social platform, we always put out calls for experts. Please take out the time to come and help and support us to ensure that our educational system is up to par.
Great. Rashida?
Yes, please. I will follow up and say that data is king and queen. Okay. And I believe that that's the power we hold, not only in our workforce, but in our data. These companies are coming to Ghana. They want to deploy these AI models on our population, but they need our data to be able to do it effectively. So I believe that if we work together, working an open source system where we all contribute to an AI model, I believe that we can go far. Now think about a future where a person with a visual disability can communicate with someone who is illiterate, who can't, the context would probably be a person with a hearing disability. If I give you a pen and a paper, but you can't read and write, how can we even communicate? So think about ways that across all ability levels, we can now communicate with each other, grow with each other, and just continue communicating with each other. Absolutely.
Great. Wonderful thoughts all around the table. That's our EdTech Monday for the month of June. But we are doing it on the 1st of July. Thank you so much. Let me thank my guest, Rashida Musa, AI integration specialist, and she's with the name of the firm, Rayma.
Rayma, please.
Rayma, thank you. Joseph Fabian, ITV, CEO of Cognitive AI Technologies. He joined us via Zoom. Joseph, thanks so much. We had Ethel Kofi, board chair, Ghana Government ICT Sector Skills. And like she said, if you are a practitioner out there, when you see their posts or you hear their calls, please join them and give some concrete input to the curriculum. I really love that part. Ika J. Mensah is CEO and co-founder of Deaf Can Talk. And Esther Nakofi is a student of the Presbyterian College of Education. She has a hearing challenge and she communicates with us via the Deaf Can Talk app. So if you know somebody with that challenge, download the app, let them use it, and they can communicate with the world. Having that kind of challenge doesn't mean you are not like all of us. You are just like all of us. You have the right to communicate and to interact and to live your life as normally as possible. Thank you so much, my wonderful guest. It's been fun. It's great talking about AI on a Monday morning. My name is Nathan Crow. I moderated the session. Many thanks to our very good friends at MasterCard Foundation and at Mest Africa. They've partnered to bring us this wonderful conversation we have at the end of every month called EdTech Monday.
This is the Citi Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation.
3 years and I'm only just getting started.
Wealth grows organically and is rooted in fertile soil. Let's explore the verses of this financial benefit together through stability, growth, diversification, legacy, and freedom. Call 0303-955-903 or 0532389050 or visit our website at sedanlandbank.com, sedanlandbank.com, or you can go to page 8 of the Daily Graphic online, or you can go to Citi Newsroom online to find out more. Sedan Land Bank, we are black and white. Sedan Land Bank, litigation free and hassle-free land ownership is our hallmark. And that's how we end today's edition of the Citi Breakfast Show. Earlier you heard Bernardino Kokuavle, Richard Delaska, Caleb Kuda, and the returning Godfred Akotoboafo. My name is Nathan Kwa. I took the show home and hosted the EdTech Monday session. Let's get into the news at 10. Zoe Abubedu Ado is here with the details.